Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rogers Base here. Welcome to the first episode of the Clubhouse Games podcast, where today we're going to teach you how to play Texas Hold'em and Hanafuda. Joining me, we have our host, Shofu.
What's poppin', man?
We have Fidel.
Hey, yo, what's poppin' too?
We have McDareth.
Okay, what's poppin', guys?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
there you go. There you go. We have Vera.
What is popping, everybody?
There we go. Excellent. We have Bloody Roar God,
Don't call
a.k.a.
him that. We can run the set right now.
6ix9ine himself.
We can run the set right now.
Favorite commentator, TITOK, Bloody Roar God.
And then finally, last but not least, I know you guys have been waiting for him. We've been building this up. You asked me, why'd you tag Ricky Cocaine? Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in a year and a half, we have the one, the only, Mr. Conman RDW. What's going on, man? How are you, David?
Christ, the chat's probably so mad. Hi, how's it going, guys?
Hey, wait, hold on. You got to check in. Who the hell is that? I wasn't told about this guy. You never got to explain it to me.
Oh, yeah. So, no, he's a friend of mine from Chicago. He helps out with he does his own stuff on YouTube, but he also helps out with the Break Room podcast. And Brandon from the Break Room podcast is my editor, and David's want to come on for a while.
Man, I'm watching y'all. I'm watching y'all back there. Hold on, you didn't introduce my boy Archer. Talk to him, bro.
Archer, welcome.
That's it?
You're not going to give a what's popping? Nothing?
You gotta
my bad. What's going on, guys? What's going on?
No. Say that again.
All right.
What's what?
Don't worry about
what's going on, guys? How's it
No.
going?
What's what? You said instead no.
What is
what?
That? Bit?
Come on.
Pop.
What?
Brand new whip just hopped in. I got options. I can pass
Archer's
that.
never invited back. He's never invited back. All right,
Are you dumb?
Okay.
Stupid.
We have
Let me
a
redeem myself real quick. What's popping, my boys? How's it going?
There we go. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. So since the last episode of Japan Time, a lot of stuff has happened. There was an Inside Xbox that was absolute trash. There was a state of play for Ghost of Tsushima, as some people are calling it, not Tsushima, but Tsushima, which is also incorrect. It is pronounced Tsushima. That game looks kind of clean. I can't wait for it. We might talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
We got there's a new Harvest Moon that got announced. There's some information about Nintendo Switch Online. There's a new Paper Mario game that got announced. People are talking about whether or not it has partners. Clubhouse Games got a new trailer. They're talking about how there might not be another Nintendo Direct this year. We have a lot of stuff to break down. Oh, and then of course, last but not least, of course, Evo has officially announced that Smash Bros. Will not be part of Evo this year. Smash Ultimate has been dropped from the Evo lineup, which has now gone all virtual. And so I figured let's actually start with that. Let's talk about Evo going virtual and not having Smash Bros.
That's so funny.
I mean, did they ever give a reason? Because a lot of people are assuming the reason, and I don't think they ever said the actual reason.
No, they've never.
I think it's because of online, isn't it?
The online.
No. See, don't jump straight to that after I said what I said.
Like,
we don't actually.
We
can assume what it is. We don't actually know the actual reason for this.
can I say something with that real fast?
Of
because
course.
some of those games on that list, especially Samurai Showdown, their online is just as bad, if not
Just
worse.
as bad. I was literally gonna say that.
Like, but people go like, "Oh, Smash is the worst thing ever" because it's all
That's
they
what
play.
I said. Like I said,
Well,
we don't know the actual reason. That's why I don't want to jump straight to, well, the netcode sucks. Like the netcode sucks for all fighting games. The fuck.
But I'm gonna guess that maybe SNK and some of the other companies that are involved are maybe paying for some of the prize pools, right? Like they're actually putting money into it. And so if they don't want to take the money, because obviously Nintendo's not putting money into it at all. They never do. But some of these other companies might actually have money at stake, and they might be putting money in the prize pools, and that's why they haven't pulled out. And that's why they're keeping them going, even if the online is bad.
I think it's also worth noting, specifically with this, and I could be misreading it, but this is based off everything that I've read, is that it's really weird that I initially thought it was weird that they said that they're going to have the games that they had already, but then they're going to have these other online open tournaments. Well, Evo historically has been an open tournament. Like, anybody can enter.
Right.
So the fact that they make a distinction makes me think that those tournaments, the traditional ones, are going to be held to a specific number of people.
Oh,
You're not going to be able to just pull up and play
No, it's just gonna be the pros. Yeah, it's not like the
like,
open ones are
you don't
just
get to play
MK.
fighters. Like you have to,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But like when it comes to like
Well, they
guns
might-
fighting herds,
Wait, no, didn't
AI,
they? No, hold
Yeah.
on. Didn't they specify that those tournaments are the exhibition tournaments?
That's
Well, no, they're not even
I-
tournaments. They're
Yeah.
like
It's like
exhibition
competitive matches.
showcase.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Just
So,
so the companies can make their DLC announcements and stuff.
But the 4 other games, the ones with the rollback netcode, are the actual tournaments.
Correct. Which are Them's Fighting Herds, KI,
Mortal Kombat and Skullgirls.
And KI, wait. So real quick, KI initially was not in the lineup, right? They're adding it
Nope.
now because it's virtual. That's kind of cool.
So it's all those four. Those four.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat
yeah.
11. Like, yeah, all those 4 were not in it, but they're all getting added
Yeah.
because they've got on.
Got it.
All 6 of y'all who still be playing KI, bro, time to pull up. It's your time, bro. Like,
I mean, you mean, but KI actually is a very active seed even before this. But
Yeah,
like,
it's a
What's the development studio for KI? It's Iron Galaxy.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
started with Double Helix.
Yeah, they
now
do.
it's Iron Galaxy.
Cool. Yeah, they do have a really, really dedicated fan base. So
I'm
that
happy
kinda
for
doesn't
them
surprise
fighting
me.
hurts though, because it seemed because they recently just did their patch where it was like the story mode and the big thing that they've been building up to for a while now. And it seems like since they got put onto the EVO Online thing, like a lot of people have been looking into it. Which honestly, it's a really good game. You should look into it if you like Skullgirls. Which also Skullgirls is really good. Not like that many people play Skullgirls for some reason, and it's actually like top tier fighting game, I'd say.
Skullgirls always has a really big audience, though. Whenever it's like, oh, vote on the next game to get an Evo, they always have a lot of people voting.
The same
Because that was
team.
the main one we did. Like in the very first season of Japan Time, we did the live like write-in donation thing where Prague came on and D1 came on, and we tried to get Melee into Evo, which we won. But the other big one we were competing against was Skullgirls. So I know they've got a super dedicated fan base.
I just also think it is worth noting with a game like Skullgirls. I think the reason why they have high viewer and support is because people know the developers care about the game, even if they don't play it. Like people know that even if you don't play Skullgirls, if you're aware of it, you know that's a very good game. It looks amazing. You know, the rollback, obviously, the netcode's really good. You just don't play it, which I don't know. I think that also has to do with the fact there's not really, I mean, for better or worse, an incentive to play that game. Like, you're not going to make money. I'd rather play Street Fighter than play that game if I'm interested in making money. I know it's not a popular thing to say, but that's just fact.
Speaking of fighting, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, speaking of fighting games that the developers care a lot about, but people hardly play, the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid game. Like a lot of people were saying that's a good game, but it wasn't like on the major docket. So
I've definitely heard a lot of people
Tito was
talking
playing
about
that
it.
before.
Literally playing it right now.
Yeah,
There's a lot of cap going on.
Wait,
I almost worked on that game actually.
Wait, what? Well, hold on. You got to explain that. What happened there? What's the story there?
Well, oh no. So I got in contact with the devs like last year while I was looking for jobs, and I was just kind of waiting because they were like they were satisfied with my animation work, but they weren't sure about hiring someone remote. So we were just having this long conversation. Eventually, it didn't really go
Like,
through.
anywhere?
But yeah.
That's still kind of rad, though. That's cool.
Yeah.
This is a good.
Yeah. Well, you guys heard it here first. Virum is going to be the lead producer of the next Power Rangers fighting game. There you
Absolutely not.
go. That's exactly what you just heard.
I'm just a humble animator, nothing more.
Your time.
It's your time to shine, Virum. Get your hockey
This is
up.
it,
Come on.
bro.
Let's go. You got Devil Fruit Awakening. That's good. All right. So we talked a little bit about Evo. I guess the big thing I do think we should talk about first, because I know a lot of people want us to talk about it, is Paper Mario. So in a shadow drop out of nowhere, when was this? On Monday, Tuesday morning? Last week?
Wednesday, I want to say.
Oh, I was totally wrong then. Well, there you go. On Wednesday morning, they dropped a trailer for a brand new Paper Mario game. We had actually talked about this in the show before. This was rumored heavily for a long time. Paper Mario, the Origami King, a brand new Paper Mario game, not a remake of 64, but a brand new game coming to Nintendo Switch this July, crazily enough. Really, really shocked by the fact it's coming out in July. Yeah, I thought, yeah. So I thought it was going to be an August game or September game or something, but it turns out it's coming out. It's going to be one of their big summer games. And what are the general thoughts on this? Because I got my own take, but I want to hear what everybody else thinks first.
graphically clean as hell.
I didn't even watch the trailer.
Beautiful.
Wait, you haven't watched the trailer? Let's do a live reaction on stream. Pop it on. Do a live reaction. We're going to do it. All right, I got you the link right here. Hold on. I'm going to drop it in the chat.
I don't even. All right, then.
I got you. Here you go. Private podcast. Boom. There you go. Paper Mario, the Origami King live reaction with Shofu. Look at that.
Did he have that already up? Was he ready?
4 million views?
Oh, no. It was in the Nintendo chat, so I was able to pull it up, no problem.
Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Oh, man.
Yeah, you got it. Sync that baby up. World exclusive.
World premiere.
Xbox.
All right, I'm watching. You can join the Discord stream so we can watch it at the same time.
Yep. Excellent. I like that.
You're a smart man, Shofu. But we already.
This is how we watch Kitchen Nightmares. This is how we watch Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah.
Are we good?
This is exactly how we do it.
We good?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm here. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
That should look clean already.
Here comes the devil.
Love the vibes.
An Origami Peach.
She look kind of scary.
Or she looks like a demon.
Will you crease yourself and be reborn like me? She is scary. I knew it.
It sounds horrible.
Wrong answer.
Man, if you
Bars.
want it, I
Yeah,
got
that's
it.
bars. Her replies are all paper thin. I like it.
That is bars. Hold on.
She made
There
it
he goes.
Yeah, this is fire.
Let's fucking go.
What the fuck? Cartana about to be crazy.
Come on, bro. Take up all these games.
Like graphics.
Yeah, visually, this trailer really does look
Changing
great.
my mind how good it looks.
Little partner Bowser.
Like their budget was insane going into this one. Jesus.
Ah, it looks fucking.
Rather flip the table with that.
That was the bomb I streamed over.
So this is the ARM sequel.
Yes, sir, B.
This is cool.
And the music is so intense.
Shy Guy Bazaar.
The goons were up.
Yeah, so it's super soon.
It's crazy that this is the first like official piece of news that we got for this game, and it's coming so soon.
And here's
Right?
the 2D Metroid tease.
See, okay, so I wanna talk about that a little bit too. Because I've been seeing every YouTuber under the sun making videos, new Metroid teased in Paper Mario trailer. That's 100% not what that is.
Yeah.
Get a new
Are
Metroid?
you sure
maybe.
though?
No, if we get a new Metroid, great. But that little thingy at the ending with Samus, because you could also see Donkey Kong in the ending too, that is not some confirmation of a new Metroid game. Also, we already know there's a new Metroid game coming because we're getting Metroid Prime 4. So we already knew that to begin with.
Sure.
So there's no point in making a video, oh, new tease because of Paper Mario trailer. And it was my whole sub box. It wasn't like one person did this. It was everybody did videos, new Metroid teased in Paper Mario trailer. It's not what that was. But anyway, yeah, it comes out in July. Looks beautiful. My only concern, this is my big thing, is you guys know this. I love Paper Mario 64 and I love Thousand Year Door. I do. But I feel like the rest of the series really went downhill after that. And I understand, you know, oh, the games aren't for me, whatever. If you want to defend Sticker Star, you're brain dead, but that's fine. That's fine. But, you know, this one, I feel like Color Splash was a step in the right direction on Wii U. But I don't think it was interesting enough for me to even finish. Like when I got that game, I never actually finished Color Splash. I got like a third of the way through the game and I watched the rest on YouTube. The battle system was not fun. Yeah. And so for me, I do like what we saw of the battle system in this trailer, right? Where we see the theater and the round and it looks like there's line attacks and things. But my concern is that I'm not seeing partners in the battle with you. Now, apparently there was a Chinese trailer for the game that showed his little explorer Toad partner in battle with him as a semi-confirmation that partners are in battle, but it really doesn't show anything. It could just be something where they pop in for an attack or something and they're not actually full-blown partners like the previous Paper Mario games. So if that is the case, I'm going to be somewhat disappointed. But I think this is absolutely a step in the right direction for Paper Mario.
I played Colors, but I beat that game, and I felt like that. I agree with you. The combat wasn't interesting, but it was like hilarious, and how gorgeous it looks here. It was stunning on Wii U too. Like I knew they would reuse this engine, and like it's just if they can keep that comedy, because they go to like Luigi's Mansion place in Color Splash. They go to like a pirate area. Like shit gets really weird and funny in that game.
That game is really pretty, and there's a lot of like level variety and things like that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if they keep just like the comedy and this like battle grid system or whatever it is like really interesting, like I think it could be I think it could actually like, because now we have more games that are not like the 1,000-Year Door and 64 than we do those style of Paper Mario. So like I feel like if this really hits, it could usher kind of a new like fan base of this style, you know?
Right. Where it's sort of a mix of the modern stuff that a lot of people who are longtime fans aren't a fan of, but still has enough of the RPG elements to keep it interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. I agree. Well, I mean, this was your first time seeing it, Shofu. What did you think?
I thought it looked cool. I'm not really too versed on Paper Mario in general. I think I played. What was the last one that came out? Was it on the Wii U or something?
Color Splash. Yeah, the Wii U one.
Splash.
I played that game for like 10 minutes. I didn't necessarily like it or dislike it. I just wasn't really interested. But this one looks more interesting to me, so I'll try it out.
Yeah.
It seems like ever since Sticker Star, they've been leaning more into the paper thing of Paper Mario.
Yeah,
right.
It's like ever since they tried to do that, that's when people started to fall off because, like for example, in Sticker Star, they focused on the things and the card system, and then in Color Splash, they went more into like that system, which was god awful in my opinion. Like it was too much. But it seems like with this, even if they were to do something with this like rotational system, I think as long as they're not doing too much with it, I think it would be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's like that, that's like I said with Color Splash, you had to do too much to even just get through one battle. So if this can streamline it, even if it's like a whole wave of enemies coming at you, like I think they could do a lot of cool stuff with this battle system. Like for example, they have the audience in the background, which is something they haven't had
in a long time. Exactly. That's
Imagine
good.
what the boss battles in this game are going to look like, bro. Imagine there's that turtle thing. Imagine if that's a boss, right? And he's like looming over the stage, or he's taking over most of the circle. And then like someone else has like goons in the audience and they're throwing stuff at you, and you got to like rotate stuff to dodge stuff. That would be so cool. I'm looking at what can happen with this.
And the only other real like downside that I have, because I mean, if you guys saw my reaction, I like freaked out when I saw the Bob-omb actually had a personality. I was happy about that because I was like, oh my God, we're actually going to get partners. I was screaming. But then as the trailer went on, like, I think I went from really being hyped to becoming cautiously optimistic, because to me, other than the Explorer Toad, it looks like all the other partners, beyond the Explorer Toad and the little origami Bowser, all the other partners are like generic Mario enemies. It's like a Hammer Bro and a Spike. And I know like Bowser Jr. is one of them too, and Kamek and a couple others, but it's just like they're not Bob-ombs with personality. They're not Cooper or Bombette or whatever.
Right.
And that was such like an integral part of those first two Paper Mario games that I really don't know why they still to this day are like, no, we can't give them personality again. We can't make them different. I don't get that.
I think I know a lot of the others, like I know Toads, they do have some different designs, but I know what you mean, the more color, but it's like I do think it's funny that this Bob-omb, he's like a fuseless Bob-omb. And I think if anything, it's funnier that he is generic because he knows it. Like you could tell he's just chilling in every like shot he's in. Like you can tell he's just like the neutral guy. You can tell it's like I'm just like a failed experiment, I guess. It's like I think they can lean on to like, which they do in Color Splash. They break the fourth wall like a million times.
Yeah. They're gonna do that with this
writing
one.
is hilarious.
The one thing about Color Splash at the very least had good writing. You know
exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. I think it'll be something cool. And again, the good thing is like it's coming in 2 months, so it can't build these crazy expectations. Everyone's just gonna play it like soon.
So one thing I think that might happen is because the Mario and Luigi series, for example, hasn't come to Switch yet. Whatever they might be trying to like split up Paper Mario versus the Mario, like they're trying to make like the Mario RPG series, which would be like more of the Mario and Luigi universe, because that has the more creative characters. For example, I think Dream Team was the more creative one because Paper Jam was super generic, but Dream Team was creative and they had those special characters. And then Paper Mario can be like where it's base enemies and stuff, but then they're doing things with Paper Mario. So it'd be cool if they had a new Mario and Luigi or just straight up Mario RPG branded game come to Switch that's 3D. Then if they pour that personality with the creative characters into that game, and then they just have Paper Mario be this whole thing, I'd be okay with that. So I'm hoping that's what happens.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi is not a franchise, though, I think ever needs to come back, though. I don't know. I feel like, to me, those games did what they did, and unless they do something like what you're talking about, where they really make the characters different and really make it stand out, I feel like the last 3 or 4 Mario and Luigi games all just sort of like blend together in my head. Right. Like outside of Paper Jam, which just sticks out as being like using
Paper Mario.
Exactly. Using Paper Mario, but again, being a terrible game. So yeah, man, we're gonna have to wait and see. But again, I
mean, the developer's dead,
right
so
direction. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Alpha Dream Disney.
Yeah, they would need to give it to a new team. So maybe
that's right.
If it is dead, then they bring back that was the whole discussion when Alpha Dream went down and everyone was like, where's Mario and Luigi? Everyone was thinking, okay, maybe Paper Mario will go back to RPG, because the whole thing about why Paper Mario shifted away is because Nintendo said there's no point of having 2 RPG Mario series.
Right.
Yeah.
And obviously they were going to choose Paper Mario over Mario and Luigi. I mean, it's got its own unique style and aesthetic and thing. Also, we are a Smash Bros podcast first and foremost, so I got to bring this up because we talked about this earlier, and especially because Zeph talked about this too on one of the previous streams. Because there's a Paper Mario game coming out this year now, I kind of feel like the odds for Paper Mario being one of the 6 on the new Fighter Pass like skyrocketed. But I do, because if you think about it, right, so many of these new characters are advertising games that are on the Switch. Paper Mario is one of the few other Mario characters that I feel would make, no pun intended, a splash, right? If Paper Mario got into the game, he could be a unique character while still representing the Mario series. And they could also include maybe like the Origami Castle or something as the stage. And they could retroactively go back and reclassify the Paper Mario stage that's already in the game as one from the Paper Mario universe. But
I can't say I can see it happening.
Ever since this trailer, I've been seeing a lot of really good Paper Mario moveset mock-ups on Twitter, and they're like really clean, actually.
Where they at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm not going to write that off anymore. I'm not going to write that off. I think I think there's a shot. So we'll see. I don't know.
New man.
We will see.
And this whole Paper Mario thing sparked that whole like more rumors, right? How about like that guy Jeff Grubb again coming saying Pikmin 3 Deluxe is actually really soon.
Please.
The Mario remaster.
I'm glad you brought that up because the first rumor of Paper Mario at all, though, when this first came up, did talk about a 2D Metroid game in development. It mentioned that there was a 2D Metroid game and a Paper Mario game. And that's where a lot of people were doing their videos where it's like, oh, that Samus thing at the ending actually means we're going to get a 2D Metroid announcement. You know, with the way that this game got announced, where they just sort of shadow dropped it, I also would not be surprised if we don't hear anything about a 2D Metroid or anything like that until maybe October, and then it just shadow drops in November. Because now that we know that they're not getting a Direct anytime soon, and Metroid's not real. I mean, it's a big name for anybody who's a Nintendo fan, but it's not really like that big of a franchise where they would need to have this big lead up to it. I mean, when Samus Returns got announced, it came out that fall. It was announced at E3, and then came out 3 months later. They could, especially if it's the same developer, they could do the exact same thing with this new 2D Metroid, whether it's a remake or a new game or whatever, announce it in maybe June or July, and then drop it in September, October.
Yeah, I mean, it's what that was the whole rumor was that there's not going to be a Direct, but Nintendo's just going to have announcements coming through. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next week or two we hear about Pikmin 3. Then maybe in June we hear about a 2D Metroid, and then later we find out about the Mario remasters, like the big thing that they're gonna do in the fall.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too, because it seemed like with the Clubhouse Games trailer today, people have been talking about that it had vibes of something that would be in a Direct anyway, but they let everything up, and they're just spreading it out over the course of time. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was supposed to be like either a one more thing or like something in that lineup of Direct announcements.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. But I mean, I would love a 2D Metroid. I love the 2D Metroid games in general. I know if Zeph and Coast were here and stuff, we'd be talking about it. But man, those games are just like, I don't think there's ever been a bad 2D Metroid ever, not once. You can argue Other M, but Other M's not a 2D, right? It switches between.
Yeah, it's like 3D, 2D.
Exactly. It's a 3D world of Metroid.
Oh my
I
god.
always thought that idea was interesting. They just didn't do it well in Metroid.
Yeah, they just
Other M.
didn't do it well. Yeah. To be fair, though, I feel like Metroid Other M, going back to it, is not as bad as I remember it being. Like, I recently just went back and played a little portion of that game about a year and a half ago, and it wasn't Star Fox Zero levels bad. It was actually, like, I could get through the game.
Bro, that game is
I didn't think it wasn't
amazing.
that
Why are you
bad.
hating?
Weird.
What'd you say, Shofu?
So that game is amazing. Why are you hating right now?
Star Fox Zero?
Yeah, dude.
We're not having this discussion.
Come on.
And give it to
dog.
fucking. Give it to Nintendo of all people when everyone is starting to do digital presentations like them. They're the ones that dip
They don't
and
do
don't
it.
do it anymore.
Right.
Like,
They're like,
that's
you
the
guys
most
do direct now?
Nintendo
Never
thing
mind, we're not doing this
ever.
anymore. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Well, again, now that you brought that up, right, going back to those other quote-unquote directs that happened over the course of the past, like, week and a half, 2 weeks, let's talk about the Inside Xbox one first. Not that there's much to talk about, but long story short, they were like, oh, we're going to have gameplay reveals for all these games, and then we proceeded to get trailers for these games with very little gameplay at all. The Yakuza announcement was cool, right? Yakuza Like a Dragon
Yeah, coming
coming to
to the back.
Xbox. That's going to be
I
cool.
think the issue with that specific thing, at least that I saw, was that not that they didn't show gameplay. I didn't see people complaining about that. I think they just expected games that people were going to give a fuck about, and they didn't
Yeah.
do any of that. Like,
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
I would rather if they
it was going to be
showed.
third party.
I'm just saying, if they showed a bunch of trailers about games, first of all, the trailers over themselves, like the choice of trailers was awful. If you're
Yeah.
going to sell the Xbox, why are you looking at a racing game? I don't care how good it sells. Those aren't good for trailer. They're just not. It's
I'll
just a
just
bunch
say
of
that
driving.
that's kind of just a Microsoft thing. Unfortunately, they always have a racing game. Whenever
That's true. They got Forza or whatever.
Right.
That's true.
No, that's fine, and they sell okay to the best of my knowledge. But my point is that if this is the first real, hey yo, we're selling Xbox. You know how like people have been like, bro,
Xbox.
it's 2020. Why do you have a console? Yo, you need this Xbox, and here's what we're gonna show you. You see niggas drive before, because we're about to show you how people be driving.
If anything, it gave me vibes of that one. What was it? 2 years ago when they had the Xbox press conference and they claimed so many world premieres before Sony's press conference, and then everyone's like, "What the hell is Sony going to show now?" They took everything. It's like when I think that's the year they showed Jump Force, and everyone got hyped.
Oh
about
yeah,
Jump
yeah,
Force.
yeah. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
but it's like it's
That's
a whole
right,
bunch
yeah,
of
'cause
third
that
party
year,
games.
that was a really good. That's probably the best Microsoft conference I could think of because that was before we knew what Jump Force was, and it seemed really good. And that's also when we got the Kingdom Hearts Frozen reveal.
Yeah.
Was during that conference.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
having a good time during that conference. Yeah. Also, before we knew that game was going to be bad too, but
The only thing is they just
Topic for
called
different
dibs on a
discussion.
lot of stuff, and they just got to show it first.
Yeah,
And it wasn't
yeah.
really
That's
any
what-
like first party content.
Yeah, I was just say that's what they both basically do. Like I remember when Final Fantasy VII popped up at the Sony conference. I was
Right.
like, the first thing I picked up on is they did not say PlayStation exclusive. Like,
Right, they said-
people was like, oh, it's gonna be
Yeah.
exclusive. Like, no, If it was
PlayStation
exclusive-
first.
Yeah, if it was exclusive, they would have plastered that everywhere. Like that was
Yeah.
the only thing you would have seen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just incredible.
There were like two games in that whole thing that really stood out to me, which was one, that first game they showed was a whole bunch of buzz actions. Let me tell you. Okay. You have a first person game taking place in what looks like Japan. You have a character that has a robot
Oh,
arm.
yeah, that
You look
thing.
cybernetic.
Oh, I know what
You
you're
have
talking
a fucking grappling hook. You are
Oh,
slicing
the indies. That was the one that was made by
You have-
literally one person.
gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks great, and you have the
What's it
force.
called?
You know what that
Yeah,
game
but-
looks like?
Oh, it looks crazy.
That game looks like a tech demo.
Yeah, that's the
And-
one thing.
and-
That's the one thing about it.
And then when I did more research, people were telling me that apparently it's a part of a game and it's gonna be like released in
Oh.
parts. And there's already you could play like the first Bright Memory on like Steam early. It's like a weird.
What
When I
the
saw
heck?
that stuff, I was like, all right, this is gonna be not.
Did
good.
anybody else see them like did anyone else get mixed when the DeLorean pulled up? Because
Dude,
I
I
was
was
mixed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like
what?
I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I guess it's like some ninja cybernetic, some
That's why I was like,
Ex
what the
Machina
whole-
shit. Okay, and then the DeLorean pops up, and I'm like, Doc Brown, are you here?
Right?
Back to the Future?
Like,
Like that game
Yeah.
looked clean, but yeah, like you said, it looked more like a tech demo because for sure that won't look that way when it
Well,
actually
hold on.
releases.
So speaking of tech demos, there was also a tech demo for Unreal Engine 5 that we got to discuss because I feel like looking at what happened during this Inside Xbox thing, the one big complaint was that nothing looked next gen enough. Like everything looked like it could be made on PS4. And then we got the tech demo for Unreal Engine 5. That to me is the first thing
that looked incredible.
Next gen to me. That looks incredible. Like we've had this discussion on Japan Time many a times over the course of the past couple months, and I feel like the one big thing for me is moving to this next generation. I'm not excited because I feel like it doesn't feel time yet for a new generation, right? Like the consoles, obviously, we do need it, right? The consoles do need to be upgraded. You can see it with the way like they'll mask load times in certain games, and obviously, like you do need the power. But graphically, it's not there where I'm looking at a game going, "Oh my god, this could never run on a PS4." That Unreal Engine 5 tech demo was truly one of the most amazing things. That looked to me next gen when they were talking about the triangles and they were talking about the different statues and just the way the girl moved. That was gorgeous.
This just sparked up a conversation for me and my friends of like, how much better can games look? And also when will like award industries start putting games more on the same level as movies? Because this looks like a cinematic piece.
Well, they mentioned specifically in the deck demo that the new thing with Unreal Engine 5 is that you could utilize like character models that are used in films for games.
That's insane.
So like, the one big thing for me is think about Kingdom Hearts, right? Like if Disney has all their new movies and they literally can just send their character models to Square and they plug them into the next game, like that'd be insane. The next Kingdom Hearts game is going to look incredible. And I think it needs to, because I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 really was underwhelming in a lot of points. With the way that it looked visually, I think it could have looked a lot better than it did.
I also think that, like, I mean, because a majority of us, if not all of us, a lot of our catalog is Nintendo games, and Nintendo games have a very specific art style. Like they're very cartoony, and those things aren't necessarily one-to-one with something like Unreal Engine 5, which is looking for really hyper-realistic, looking for all these polygons. Like I feel like Nintendo does a lot with very little, and that's by design. I feel like they do it on purpose. So I'm just interested to see like how something like this can apply to games with an art style that's not supposed to be real. Like, for example,
look at Granblue Fantasy Versus.
Dude, yeah, like I was thinking about Arcs, just like what the hell are they gonna do next?
Like they do 2D models, but they're 3D models, but they look 2D, and it's really incredible art. Like that's cool. But like for example, like how good can a Pokemon game look if a Pokemon game is going to continually be artistically designed?
I feel like the first couple of games that come out on Unreal Engine 5 will be just all flex.
That goes back. I think that goes back to the Kingdom Hearts argument thing that I was going to bring up, right? Because I saw some people in the chat going, "Wait, what's Roger talking about? Kingdom Hearts 3 was visually beautiful." Well, Kingdom Hearts, because I just recently went back and did this too. I played through the Ansem Xehanort, young Xehanort fight, and especially because I just came off of Final Fantasy VII Remake, like that game looks significantly dated now. Like going back and seeing that fight again, that game does not look as good. And obviously a lot of that has to do with the art style. But the one area in Kingdom Hearts 3 that really like impressed the hell out of me was the Pirates of the Caribbean area. The Pirates area was beautiful with the lighting and the things they were doing.
That's realistic.
Beautiful.
Okay, but I feel like part of that, Roger, is they have to make the game fit these Disney worlds. So Pirates is a realistic place, so they can make it, they can flesh it out like that.
That's my point, though. That's my point, right.
You're in like Rapunzel's area. You can't.
Of course, you can't do that.
And also, Roger, you're talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. You know how long it took for Kingdom Hearts 3? Games using Unreal Engine 5, this tacks on an extra 4 years to development time. Games are going to take so long to release.
I don't think that's.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I think it'd be easier.
A lot of that. So it's like how they're talking like, okay, so the one thing they show is they put a light in the world, and normally a developer has to put a light and they have to manually move that light, but they put the light and just within the engine they just moved it, and it just moves dynamically based on where you are.
Yeah, but like plus the big thing even like in that boring PlayStation Mark Cerny thing, they were all talking about how like the difference between Xbox 360 to Xbox One, PS3, PS4 was like they had to completely change like the architecture. Whereas like this time around, they're making it so that like developers can continue to evolve with the tools that they've had, as opposed to having to relearn a bunch of shit. That's why like the first 2 years of PS4 were like, we got so many garbage and boring games because like everyone was trying to refigure out. Yeah, so now it's going to be a thing of they want to make it as easy as possible to take what you have now and just like evolve it and make it better.
One thing that none of us have mentioned so far is with this transition to the next generation, I think we're also going to see, not only we're going to see more graphically impressive games, we're also going to see more games that, while don't make a super significant graphical leap, they do a lot in terms of optimization. Like, could you imagine, like, let's say the next part of Final Fantasy VII Remake, could you imagine if that game looks pretty much as good as the current one on PS4, but it runs at 60 FPS. It doesn't have any of the texture loading issues.
Yes.
Like that kind of thing. I definitely think we're going to see a lot more of coming into the next generation as well, which is actually what I'm more excited for.
We're going to need that too for like the next part of Final Fantasy, right? Once we start stepping into the open world stuff of that game, because that's obviously something they're going to have to touch. It's like the overworld. I do wonder, if maybe that's why they were holding off, and that's why they just did Midgar for this one, so they could make Midgar feel almost as if it was like a giant open world, when in reality it's like a bunch of corridors all put together that sort of tricks you into thinking it's an open world. Whereas like the new one will actually be open world, and I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do with it. And like you said, if they can run it at 60, whoo! Because the way it looks now, I mean, it's gorgeous now. Like, I feel like so many games nowadays look so good that I don't necessarily need them to look better, but I still want them to look impressive, right? And I think that was the big thing coming out of that Xbox one, was a lot of them didn't really look impressive to me. Like, I don't know what game, it was like some vampire game or something. It looked terrible.
The guy's Joker dance.
Yeah, that's
bro. It looked like that could have been on PS3. I was like, "What? Why are you showing this?"
I feel like
to showcase
can
next
do
gen.
it.
The Masquerade 2. That game's been like in development. I was surprised to see that there. Honestly, that game's been developed for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's usually the games that have been in development for that long are the ones that suffer because they're going through a lot of development hell moments.
There's a very huge fan base for that one. I looked it up.
Maybe one of you guys who are a little bit more technically aware than me can answer this question. But the trend that I've been seeing a lot, and I don't know whether it's not just with Call of Duty games, but like I'm tired of downloading 800,000 gigabyte games, bro. I'm tired of being like, all right, time to play. Fucking, I don't play Call of Duty, but it's like, I play Call of Duty. I gotta download this tonight. That way, by the time I go to work, take a shower, fucking go to the gym, go to the grocery store, cook dinner, by the time I'm done, bro, I'll be able to wait a clean hour and then I'll be able to play. Like, I'm tired of like having to go to Six Flags and back to download a game, bro. Like, what's good?
The worst thing for me is when you're downloading a game and you think it's been downloaded, and then you get through the first hour and it's like, oh, you can't play more now because it's still installing. I forgot what I was playing recently. Yeah. At first I thought, oh, that's really cool. You can play while the thing's installing and loading and doing all this stuff. But then, I can't remember what game it was. It was something relatively recently on my PS4 where I was playing it. Oh, no, it was Persona. It was Persona is what it was. It was Royal. Where I got through like the first part of Royal and it's like, oh, you still got to keep installing.
Did we ever talk about that game? I don't think we did.
No, we can talk about it now. Let's talk about it.
It's fucking amazing. But it's Persona 5, so of course it's going to be fucking amazing.
Of course.
But like, so I just got off playing it. I finished it literally yesterday. And
133 hours, by the way. I saw the tweet.
Yeah, it was it's crazy because like I went in with doubts for the past like few months because I was like, you know what, I already put in like 100 hours Persona 5. I don't think I'm gonna have the energy to play this one, and it just sucked me in. Like it has a lot of little gameplay changes that just make that experience a lot more fun, and just all the added content, particularly like the third semester stuff, is really, really good.
That's what I've been hearing. That I think I'm about to do the shitty space station palace. But I heard everyone tells you like that third semester is so worth it at the end.
Man, I can't wait. I'm at Makoto right now, so I haven't played any more since then. I've been trying to finish. There's my backlog, but as soon as I get to the new stuff, I'd be down to talk about it again on stream. Is there anything in particular that like stood out for you in terms of small changes that you do want to talk about that aren't really like spoiler heavy?
Yeah, so like getting a couple of the major ones would be getting Baton Pass early on. Like as soon as a character joins, they have Baton Pass. So there's a bit more focus in the combat on that, which I think makes it a bit more just dynamic and fun. And then the other thing is that in LeBlanc, you have access to more. So even in those points where it's like, oh, you can't really go out and do much, you still have stuff to do in LeBlanc. So you're not just wasting days doing nothing. And just, I don't know, just like building up everything just feels more fun, more streamlined. It's just a lot of fun in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's funny. Persona's already so good that it is one of those things where you just take a step back and you're like, I could be playing all these other new games, and it basically, a lot of people have been calling this just Persona 5 with DLC, but when you put it in that perspective and all the little, just tiny little small changes that make it an overall better experience, being able to play through something that it's already one of your favorite games of the generation, but it's the definitive version of it, I don't know. It's just like, it's worth putting in the time again.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is, I'm happy for y'all.
Hey, back up.
Oh, you don't like
Thank you.
You're not a Persona 5?
I was literally about to say it, bro.
No, that's fine. I mean, well, no game is for everyone, but
It's true.
I just love this game.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, here's a segue. That's what I was trying to think of a segue. Here's a segue. Speaking of games I love, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
I had to think about it. I was like,
horrible
what topic can I go
Tony
through? It's not
Hawk
one that-
Pro Skater.
I had to wait. I had to go through topics that weren't on the things that we were going to talk about, and I thought about it. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, the remake got announced.
Superman by Goldfinger intensified.
All right, so here's the thing about that game, right? So
Yeah.
I was watching it on stream, I was watching any and all gameplay I could find, and I think that Tony Hawk Pro Skater, because this happens with a lot of games, right? A lot of these remakes, they don't hold up because they're like, they try to either change too much, or it's like they try to be exactly like the original, and just gameplay wise, obviously we just evolved and the game just play better. But Tony Hawk's one of those games, bro, that the gameplay is already super fun, and they're just making everything look OD. Like, if you like I found like 3 trailers, a lot of gameplay trailers of them where they take the original and they just fade into the new.
Oh yeah, the side by side. Yeah. I've been seeing some of those,
bro, and it is OD, bro. I am.
Sir, and like it's the guys who did the Crash remix, so I know it's in good hands.
Like,
Yeah,
is the go of remake. Like, they're the go. Like, no cap. Like,
So, as someone who didn't grow up with Tony Hawk Pro Skater because I didn't have a PlayStation 1, I'm excited because I know how important this game was to the genre, because it's basically defined the genre of skating games.
Right.
And ever since the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series died with 5, like, no game has ever came up to touch that genre since then. And it's like, yeah, we had like Skate, but also Skate died. But then we have another game that's kind of like Skate, but it's not the same thing. But this is going to probably like reignite the skating game genre. And I'm actually very excited to see what happens.
Gonna reignite this foot in all your asses when we play.
yeah, all right.
The thing I want to ask you guys though is, because I actually have no idea, is the Skate thing like a meme, or do people actually really?
People really want.
They
Skate
really
4.
want Skate 4. Of course they do.
So it's actually good.
If you want Skate 4, there's a game called Skater XL that's coming out next month.
Don't
It's
do
very
this.
clean, but it's not the same thing. but it looks
Don't
really
do
good.
that. Oh my god.
No, because to me, like I grew up with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, 2, and 3, and I loved all of those games. And then I sort of fell off of it after 4, and I never got back on the train. But yeah, man, seeing that trailer and seeing the way everything looks and the remastered tracks and everything, and they're bringing back all the skaters. I mean, I'm excited to play it. I want to stream it. I think it's going to be great.
One is one of the most iconic soundtracks in video game history. No cap.
Mm-hmm.
No cap. Even though it's all licensed music, most of it, like, but that don't matter.
Yeah, the you did.
All the songs are gonna be missing in the next one.
Doing everything I can.
Yeah, I love Superman. That song's so good.
Rodney
What's
Mullen
cool about
OP.
this too is it's going to have
I do
local
wonder-
online multiplayer.
That's
Jerry
interesting
was
you
a
brought that
race
up. You said prepare for your VODs to be muted. Do you think maybe there's going to be like a deal that there's going to strike with Twitch where
Sure, yeah.
that doesn't become an issue?
Does that work? If it's in the game, does that
No,
matter?
it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't matter. Well,
It's
if
like-
it's in the game,
Really?
you won't get
For
copyrighted
instance,
if it's in
like
the
even
game.
like Twitch Sings, there's very specific stuff. Even in Twitch Sings, your VOD will get
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That does seem very strange for a game like Tony Hawk.
But,
then.
like,
Yeah,
for instance, like I played Rock Band, and like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the whole VOD's gonna be gone. It's not. Like majority of the songs were fine. The songs that got hit were shit. I'm gonna roll Red Hot Chili Peppers. Why am I forgetting the name?
Look, man, the feds ain't shit. They won't come and box me though.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up the name of this.
In the
band.
interview that Jeff Keighley did with Tony Hawk, they actually touched on that with the licensing. They were like, yeah, that's one reason why this has taken so long, because the licensing with getting those songs back or getting
Right.
is such a pain that
Crazy how hard that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're not gonna do that and not have the track.
No, of course they have to have the soundtrack.
Okay,
That's such a big part of it.
The other band's Nirvana. I don't know why I forgot that. But yeah, those two bands are the only ones that got muted. So it's like it really depends on what song you're doing, because some of them will still just get muted. I don't know about the Tony Hawk ones, because the game's been out for forever. So maybe those ones aren't in the system, but yeah.
Well, we're gonna find out soon enough. As soon as Twitch allows you to stream it. Yeah, it does look. It looks really, really good. Well, let's look down the list of other stuff to talk about. I don't know. I feel like we kind of covered most of the big news stories at this point.
Tsushima? No.
Oh yeah. Ghost of Tsushima. We could talk about Ghost of Tsushima for a bit. Have you guys watched the State of Play?
Good. It looks so
I
good.
did.
I
Never
never
saw it.
I'll get Breath of the Wild vibes in Japan.
I don't think I've seen that game. Have I?
Oh,
Wanna do another live reaction?
that one's like 18 minutes.
Let's do it. Who cares? We're not doing anything else. Let's do it. Pull
It's
it up.
so boring.
Well, then we'll have other
Or at least
conversations.
show me the
meantime,
game so I
Fidel.
can see if I've used it. Did they show it at like E3 or something?
No.
What-
Okay, they showed it to us, but they did not show it to us like this. Like
They haven't
there's
shown us
not-
actual
It's like a
gameplay and
full
mechanics.
breakdown of
Yeah.
gameplay.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Like they haven't showed gameplay of this game for like 3 years.
Yeah. They've just been showing teasers and stuff.
But it's Sucker Punch, so I knew it was gonna be good.
It looks
of
so
course, of
good.
course.
It looks so good.
The stuff to me that looks amazing is like the Ghost gameplay. The stuff that actually looks like an Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
game.
because like I used to love Assassin's Creed, but Assassin's Creed now they release it every year, so I just stopped caring. But the
Exactly.
fact that you can play it in that style makes me really excited.
What has me really hyped is how they put emphasis on how players can actually play literally however they want to, and they're making it very flexible. So if you want to play the whole game basically like a ninja, I'm assuming you could basically do that. If you want to play the whole game as a samurai tank, where you can literally walk into a stronghold and be like, yo, dude at the front, 1v1 me right now. Let's go. And you
But
can
see,
do that.
that's my issue with that was like when I looked at it, it was like such of like the very generic like press triangle to parry, press circle to kill. Like they weren't even moving, they weren't doing anything to you. Like that was my big issue of like it just looks like
Well, that was something you had mentioned. So I watched the State of Play after you brought that up. And I didn't watch it on stream. I just figured to watch it myself. And I actually appreciated the combat, which
Really?
is something I know you didn't like. That was one of the things that actually stood out to me as something that's a good thing. Because samurai fights aren't long drawn out, like, oh, slash and slash. It's like one and done. You get a slash in and the guy's dead. Like that's how it used to work. So if you're gonna try to transition this and make like a good samurai game, it has to be how the gameplay is. Like that has to be the combat.
One thing they have doing with the system, for example, when you're doing like the straight up samurai style where you're just using a strong ass sword, there's a stamina meter. And I guess it's you can't just run into a base and actually just like Batman Arkham Asylum, triangle to parry and just keep dodging people. Every time you sling your sword, you lose stamina. But if you parry correctly, then you'll get the stamina back. So if you're actually very reckless, you can actually end up dying in a fight. So they actually have a risk and reward type of system going on. So it looks like a really good balance.
Yeah.
And also there's like you have bows and arrows, you have kunai if you're doing ghost form. There looks like there's gonna be toxic bombs and different mods you can do on your character. The armor looks like it matters. There's a lot that goes into.
Yeah, I was excited when they said like the armor isn't cosmetic and it's actually like has stats. Yeah, it's something they have not done yet in any of their games.
I love the black and white mode too. I think that's a really neat little touch that if you want to play the whole thing like a samurai movie, you can.
You can play the game with subs.
Okay, so that actually, that's one of the things that looks bad about this game.
What?
That's one of the things that genuinely looks bad.
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. When I watched that State of Play, they're like, oh, and you can play the whole thing from the beginning in Japanese with subtitles. And I'm like, great, that's how I would want to play this. It's in traditional Japan, great. But the lip syncing is to the English dub. So you're watching the English dub just muted with a Japanese voice track. It's clear. The lip syncing is just straight up bad. Maybe they're going to fix that by the time the game comes out, but the lip syncing looks really, really bad. Which to me, and it is ironic for lip syncing that's the other way around, that the Japanese dub looks terrible, but it does. It looks really, really bad. So maybe they can fix that. And if they do by launch, then I'll play with Japanese on. But I think otherwise I'll probably just play in English.
Isn't that how it was in like Kingdom Hearts 3 where it was like English dub, lip sync with like Japanese voiceover?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Well, if you play it with the Japanese voices, it's like pretty much lip synced 1-to-1. It looks really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, the photo mode actually looks pretty damn nice. Like people are going to be making pretty clean music videos and whatever to this because it's Spider-Man because the character model stops moving, but every other texture in the game remains moving. So you can make really cool cinematic pieces. Like if you're in a forest and there's like lightning bugs flowing, he's not moving. His cape is like flowing in the wind, and then the grass is blowing and stuff like that. So it looks really cool.
That's a great image for producers to put their beats over on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
I was thinking that too.
The one big thing, thumbnails, obviously. Any of us who do like Ghost of Tsushima videos, the thumbnails are ready to go. You could literally just make photo mode, pop it in Photoshop, put some text over it, and you're ready to go.
There's 100% going to be Ghost of Tsushima lo-fi beat music videos on YouTube within a week of this game releasing.
For sure. Yeah, I'm excited for it, though. I think it actually looks pretty good.
Oh, last thing, really quick. Yeah. I like how this game looks like it is very freeform and how you can explore too. Because one thing that I really don't like with like how Ubisoft does open world is go to this point, okay, do this thing. Now your whole map is covered in waypoints. This looks like you walk around. There's very subtle things like if you're walking through a forest and you see a fox, you could follow the fox and then the fox will show you to something cool. Or there's like a bird, you're on your horse. The bird will be like, oh, I should follow that bird. Now that bird showed me something cool. They even said like smokestacks on the horizon shows there's like someone getting ambushed in their house. So you got to go save them to do that. There's not like a whole bunch of very in-your-face contextual stuff. So it looks kind of like Breath of the Wild in that sense where it's like, if I see this thing, I can just go over there and the game won't hold my hand and be like, no, you're going over here to do this thing. So it'll be interesting seeing how that works.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, any other thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima before we move on?
That game, I'm doing 2 playthroughs of that game. One for each.
Yeah, for sure. For each of the modes.
Yeah, that's my only worry.
My samurai gonna have the most drip.
My only worry is like normally when I play one of the Sucker Bowl, it's just Infinite, so we'll just go with that. But normally, actually, in general, I normally pick the good path. But the good path in this is Samurai. But I just like the ninja path too much, so I probably just gonna do that anyway.
I do multiple playthroughs.
Yeah, maybe.
I do appreciate that it sounds like it's only going to be like 15 to 20 hours. I feel like there's so many games nowadays that are too long. Is that? I think like,
I don't think they've never said that. I think
they never said it in the state of play, but they have gone on record multiple times saying that it's like a 15 to 20 hour game. It's not super long, which I like. I prefer that.
Now, is that only main story stuff? Because this game looks
I don't know. I can't tell you that.
It's 15 to 20 hours. I mean, for a main story, but like. Everything?
I like 30-ish.
Oh, this will be fun when this happens too. It drops the same day as Paper Mario, so.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was so weird. Like Paper Mario was announced the same day as that State of Play. That was really weird. I don't know if Nintendo was like, "Fuck it, let's like."
We got a Doom Eternal Animal Crossing situation going on.
They're 2 very different games, though, which is nice. Yeah. It's like you could play Paper Mario as a palate cleanser after doing like 2-hour-long streams of Ghost of Tsushima
in the night.
Yeah. Well, speaking of games dying in the night, let's talk about the new Harvest Moon game. Oh my God!
Look at my mans.
Absolutely. This is the kind of thing that I've wanted Harvest Moon. I've wanted a new Harvest Moon for a long time. But as was brought up on Twitter, Story of Seasons is basically Harvest Moon now. That is where the development team went. And so this is the first new Harvest Moon game since the whole Story of Seasons changeover that's not a spinoff. Apparently this new game, Harvest Moon One World, it's coming to Switch this autumn. It is a new Harvest Moon title. And I don't know about you guys. Are any of you Harvest Moon fans, or am I just like...
I think not me.
Talking to myself.
I don't even know.
Isn't Harvest Moon bootleg Animal Crossing? Not just playing.
I don't know. Is it?
No, it's not at all. It's like a farming simulator game. It's not a bootleg Animal Crossing.
So it is. All right.
I was just kidding.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'm not kidding about is how excited I am for Clubhouse Games 51.
The segue god.
Looking really forward to this. Nintendo this morning revealed it was like an 8-minute breakdown. Do you want to just like throw it up on screen, Shofu?
It was like in English version because we had this trailer like 2 weeks ago in Japanese, but now it's like the English version of the overview trailer.
Wasn't the
I'm gonna
like 51
I'm gonna drop this in the podcast group. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Boop.
Oh, I still got to talk about the financials. Oh yes,
bro. This is the best game coming out this year, easily, bro.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is run the game.
Yeah, this legitimately looks really fun. I think obviously this isn't like a Game of the Year type title, but
Yes,
the fact
it
that
is.
this
Yes,
is
the
something
fuck
that,
it is.
Okay, well,
What the hell's going on here?
It's a fun palate cleanser, I feel like. To me, this is the perfect kind of game to have during quarantine, where you're learning the rules of all these other, card games and board games and all these other things that maybe aren't necessarily mainstream. It's cool that we're going to have the opportunity to like play online with each other and learn the games ourselves and run the sets. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So let me hop in. Oh, you're already playing it. There you go.
Indeed.
Now, can they hear the...
Yeah, they can. It's
Okay,
low.
perfect,
It's low.
perfect.
Volume's
well,
really
let it
low.
run.
I mean, I don't want to.
We got hair and hounds. Yeah, you don't want to blow out people's eardrums, but
Yeah, Shova did that the other day on stream. So.
Come on, man. It wasn't my fault.
Oh look, man.
No, your mic was possessed. That was something
You're
else.
fucking my ears, bro. Will never be the same.
Bro, they got every game in the world in this, bro. This is crazy.
Dots
and boxes?
Dots and boxes, bro. You ain't ready,
Like,
bro. I'll fuck you up with some dots and boxes.
Bro, run the set. Bro, I'll run the set in all 51 of these games. I swear to God, I will.
I swear to God, bro. Day
Run the
one,
set, bro.
run the
Checkers, let's
50
go.
game.
You're done.
Best of 51,
4 in a
bro.
row.
Bro, that person is trying. No, hell no. No. You trash. Are you serious? You cannot possibly be that trash. That's not. It's not possible to be that trash. It's just not possible to be that trash.
That was a
Remember
misclick. I thought
XX?
that was.
Yeah.
Bro, look. Either way, look. There's 2 setups. There's 2 setups for a 4 in a row.
Oh, yeah, he did have him. Yeah. He had him.
Bro,
beat.
and if he blocked
It's
you,
over.
you're trash.
But I just want to know how he got in that situation. Look,
Bro,
look who that
there's 2
second yellow is.
setups. You
Why
block
do
one,
you
there's
put that
another one.
second yellow up top, bro?
Right.
Why do you do that?
They're not even trying.
Oh, trash.
He's about to be
God
Trying to
damn,
think
that
5
person is
steps
trash.
ahead.
Got him, bro.
Backgammon?
So this is actually funny.
Backgammon.
Can you pause right here real quick? The funny thing, backgammon's like a very strange game to explain. There's a lot of like weird
Yeah.
rules and things like that. It's so funny that they didn't even try in the trailer.
They
Listen to
stopped,
what
yeah.
she says in the trailer. Listen to what she says. Press play. I'm just gonna let this run.
Should I turn it up?
Turn it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just listen to what she says for this.
Ludo. Land
Should I
on
go
the
back?
You gotta go
spot,
back a little bit.
drop pieces into a grid, and create a line of 4 pieces of the same color. Backgammon. Millions of people worldwide play this classic board game.
She didn't even explain the rules at all. Oh my God.
I ain't doing anything.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Ludo go crazy. Ludo is fire. I like this game a lot.
Ludo is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you gonna get your ass
Ludo,
smacked up.
yeah.
That was hands down the best part of this trailer when she's like, millions of people have played this game.
Can we play 4
That's it.
people online with this game?
No
bro?
explanation. She's not going to try
Yeah.
to explain
They
it.
all have online.
Ludo.
Look,
Yeah,
Bro.
that's the other
Look,
great thing about this is that it's online. And apparently you could like choose 3 games with your friends, set
No.
them up and be like, okay, well, let's play Dominoes,
Dominoes,
Ludo, and
let's
Domino,
Ludo.
bro,
and we're done.
I'm fucking you up and Dominoes. Oh my
Dude,
Yacht
yacht dice?
Yeah.
They got
This is like poker,
everything,
basically.
bro.
Okay.
Poker with
best of
dice, I can't
51.
wait.
Who wants
Renegade?
Renegade.
Google
They got every game on planet
it?
Earth.
Bro, first to 20.
Y'all definitely
I
getting
will
smacked in
roast you
chess.
up in chess.
Oh, we
No,
got
you
gold.
won't.
So Go
I've
is going to
never
be
played
sick.
that.
I'm going to do my
Go?
Incognito Go stream. It's going to be nice.
Mini Choji?
Never played that either.
Best, bro, first to 26, bro. Run
Here
the
we
set.
go. Number 1, best game in the thing.
Hanafuda.
right here. 3 Light Bright Moon Viewing Koi Koi Wars, baby. I am here for this.
Oh, body
Hey,
bag.
Jimmy and
I'm
Tex
about to
told
get
him
crazy.
about
This
that.
game
Bro,
is
Jimmy
crazy.
Jimmy and
I
Tex
am
told
ready.
him.
Run the sets.
Ooh, beer 'em, bro.
Hold him to blackjack though. Oh my god.
Well, okay, so
They-
wait,
they
pause
got the
here,
5 card
pause here,
draws.
real quick.
Wow,
Pause
no,
it,
they have
blackjack.
5 card
Pause
draws.
it, blackjack real quick.
And this is just
Go back to blackjack.
What the
A
fuck is
lot of
this?
people were saying, but before we were doing Japan Time, after they dropped this trailer, so many people were saying we should do Japan Time episodes while playing blackjack once this
my
game comes out. I'm
God.
totally down for that.
That'd be
If
fun.
you guys want to do blackjack,
I'm down.
Japan Times would be super fun.
Yo, you see the
The
cards?
Mario cards.
Yo, those cards are fire.
I've never heard of most of these.
Oh yeah, the
games.
Mario Karts. You get the
Oh my
Nintendo
God,
sets. It's
War?
gonna be nice. Yeah.
War. Oh my God, Rogers. Getting
This is
destroyed.
This
the
whole segment's
sickest.
pretty cute. This is
This
Toy
I love,
tennis?
bro.
What the fuck is this?
This is the best, bro.
What the fuck is this?
I
They
love
better have
this,
foosball.
bro.
We sports games it, but we need to
No,
come
this
up with a
give
way
me
to
Wii
make
I'm running hands. I'm running
Play
hands.
vibes.
I'm running hands.
Toy soccer.
Bro,
Curling?
this is the wave.
It's over.
Bowling,
Bowling
best
bag.
Bowling
is
bag.
gonna be- Bowling
You're
is going to be
done.
clean.
Cards?
Cards.
You're done.
Billiards.
Billions who are done.
Air hockey, you're done, bro.
Why are we talking shit, bro? Billions who are done.
For every game.
We're talking shit about fucking billions.
I love the top-down golf thing. I think that's actually really, really nice.
At the shooting gallery again.
This is literally Wii
This should not get
Play.
this should not get
Wii Play, yeah.
Harem. Oh wait, bro, I used to play the shit out of this at the Boys
I
and
don't know
Girls
what that
Club.
is.
Six-ball puzzle, you're done.
You're done, bro.
Battle tanks.
I already
Oh,
beat
what the fuck
the
you
game.
said? What's
I already
up?
beat the game.
Team tanks.
Fishing.
I've been playing Animal Crossing for
Can't
2
wait to
months.
catch the
bro.
sea
You're
bass.
done.
Stars in the dirt. Single player games, you're done. You are done.
What the fuck is this
Bro,
shit?
what? Done what?
You're done.
Bro, run the set in Mahjong Solitaire, bro.
Well, you're done. If it's a single-player game, you're literally done because
You're
you just
done.
play by yourself.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You're actually done.
Alright, but how we running the set? man?
Look, all I know is first to 26. What's up?
Mario
Yeah.
Party.
Alright, but how we running
Hold
the
on, wait,
set?
go back
man?
real
Where
quick. Show
no
me, go
one
back.
plays.
Go back real quick. Go back to where they have like the four
Mario Party
switches.
engine.
Go back just a little bit. Pause right there. Pause right
No
there.
one.
That's
That is
crazy.
So unorthodox, and no one's gonna do that. But that's
No.
legitimately hype that they have that.
It's
in the
cool that
game.
you can even do that.
No
Yeah.
person anywhere will do that though.
Switch light
But I
on.
like
That's
that.
cool.
I'll do it. What's up?
Didn't this exist also in like
Yeah,
Super
it was
Mario
in Super
Party?
Mario
Yeah,
Party.
Super
Yeah.
Mario Party, yeah.
It did. It did.
No one did it in that
No.
game either.
It was like matching bananas and shit.
Moncala is gonna be
Turn this
fun.
part up.
Bro, grandma's coming back for Wii bowling.
I'm actually kind of hyped for darts now after Final Fantasy VII remake. Now that I know how to play after Viram explained the way to get 60, dude, I'm lit it.
This is cool though. 4 different switches. You can have your own hand.
Oh, yeah,
This is
nice.
fire.
Mm.
With just one game, up to 4 people can play.
Oh,
Yeah,
local
this is
play.
cool that they brought
Now,
that back.
how many of these games are online?
Online
All of them.
players also
All of
support
Except for the single player, all of them. Yeah.
players
All right,
Yeah,
all right,
all
cool,
of them.
cool, cool, cool.
worldwide.
Wait, so that means how many single player games were there?
What, like 4?
Not that
Like,
cool.
I got 6.
47, 46?
Each game has a video that explains
So
the
single
rules
player
in an
game.
easy to understand format.
I played the shit out of this game at the Boys and Girls Club too.
Bro, tutorials,
Games
bro.
even have modes that walk
Yeah.
you through the rules. Step by
46?
We got
step.
fucking tutorials?
I'm about to become
You
a
can also
master.
look up
See, I'm ready to learn how to play Mahjong. My mom plays Mahjong with her like book club friends.
First to
I wanna
24,
play
bro.
Mahjong.
Did you
First
know
to 24.
the first type of plastic used in billiards was at risk of exploding?
That's wild.
Fascinating
dude.
tidbits like these are included for each game and make for some fantastic
Standing in a ring and
Trivia?
holding
Bro,
hands.
you saw those boxing
Play
gloves?
next.
Like you trying to run the
The
face?
game guides will
fuck
recommend
is
these
this?
for you.
These guys are
Put
so,
so much work
ugly.
into this.
Ew, who is that?
They look like shitty New Donk City people.
He looks like that
I
substitute
bet you,
teacher.
go back. Oh, hold on, wait. There's a lot of
Mario cards.
Go back to the character models on the globe, because you bring up something that I actually want to touch on. I'm wondering if they are actually New Donk City
Donk
models,
City,
but they
they
just
might be.
reskin to turn them into action figures.
They
Why do you
honestly
think of
might
what
be.
they did in
I was
Kingdom
thinking
Level?
that.
That's my guy Ryan.
This dude burnt.
That's not
Halim?
Let's
Let's go, my boy
why do you look like a
Halim.
substitute librarian?
Halim, my guy. What's he playing? He's playing fucking...
Mancala,
Ludo,
Check it.
Hairs, and whatever.
Boxes.
Halim
Mancala.
knows, bro.
boxes.
The world is full of games that not everyone knows.
Oh, Aguas.
Halim the guy.
I love
Those cards are fire. I
Nintendo
want those cards in real
Oh
life,
my
though.
god.
I have it. I have that set.
51
want those cards in
classic
real
games
life.
from around
Oh,
the
that's
world.
like
I got the
old Club
Hanafuda set. They made it like a Club Nintendo thing. Yeah.
Clubhouse games. 51 worldwide
June
classics.
5th.
Oh, that's right
Run
around
the
the
set.
corner.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
I'm
getting
running
caught
the
up in just
set.
a few weeks? Bet.
Yeah, bro. Xenoblade's 2 weeks. This is the week after. Let's go.
So that's the really nice thing is that Xenoblade comes out the end of May, like next week.
Yep.
Yep. 10 days, I think.
This really is like the perfect game to pair with Xenoblade because I doubt that any of us will have beaten Xenoblade by that point because it's like a really long game. So it's like
you
you're playing a little bit of
underestimate my
Xenoblade.
no life.
Underestimation.
Well, maybe.
You underestimate
But, like,
my no life ability.
Switching from Xenoblade to playing some Clubhouse is going to be really nice.
Well, quarantine time, bro.
I guess that's true. We are in quarantine time, but still in all.
You think Nintendo's gonna have like a fucking Hanafuda Open tournament online or something?
I hope so. Well,
Hone your skill.
Segue.
Where my ranked ladder?
there's plans for the brand ambassadors to do some stuff, but that's all I can say. I'm not allowed to say anything else.
Okay.
But there's plans.
flex?
For co-streams and things.
Okay, he just
That
took the
counts as a
opportunity to
flex?
flex in front of the world.
But I'm
That
like,
counts as flex? I think that counts as a flex.
No. We can co-stream. It'll be
Stay
fun, man.
flexing on me.
Yeah, all right.
You guys are honorary through me, man. You're good.
So, I don't
You
think
play with me
works.
online, man. You're good. That is how it works. If I'm streaming, and I'm a brand ambassador, and you're playing with me, you're good.
We're co-brand ambassadors.
Well, that's not true. That's not how it works, really. But you're, you know.
So we're trash. We're trash,
bro.
Yo, speaking of Nintendo brand ambassadors, though, let's talk about the Nintendo brand ambassador previews for Xenoblade Chronicles that dropped last week. I was lucky enough to actually get a sneak peek at the game, as well as Future Connected, and I actually didn't even know this was a big news story, but then I saw my video posted all over the place, and I wanted to discuss this with you guys. Apparently, the entire voice cast of the original Xenoblade is coming back, and that includes Melia. So I guess the girl who voices Melia is like a pretty big deal. She's one of the companions in Doctor Who. She's been in a bunch of movies and stuff. And I guess people were worried that she was not going to be in the game, but it turns out she is in the game. She is voicing Melia, and she's the voice of Melia both in the main game and Future Connected, which is pretty cool. So I wanted to bring that up.
Excellent.
What was it like having a Zoom game preview?
I gotta say, it was real weird.
Yeah, that's what I was really curious because like
I liked it. I mean, it was actually pretty fun. I've obviously never done anything like that before. Normally, they take us to go to the offices and play stuff, but they gave us footage, and then like right before our demo, they gave us footage to download, and we had to sign all these NDAs, and then we basically co-watched the footage with a Nintendo employee, and then the Nintendo employee would walk us through the footage and like explain the new stuff to us. And then we were able to utilize 15 minutes of that footage for our video, and it had to be in like 5-minute chunks or something. And you could pick and choose what you wanted. So that's why like some of the previews look different, where you're getting like different gameplay in both. It's not that we played it, it's that we were literally choosing different portions of the demo. Yeah.
Wow.
Is
about to hit real.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do the same thing, like if we do end up getting like Mario remasters, or like I guess Paper Mario is something that's confirmed, right? If we get like a Paper Mario demo beforehand, how that's going to work, I don't know. But I'm excited. I mean, I was thankful they let me do it. That was really cool. So shout outs to Nintendo, man.
Speaking of Nintendo.
Yeah? Oh, come on. Speaking of Nintendo, come on. Are you going to step it up?
Nintendo and making a flex. We got those Nintendo financial numbers.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I had a moment.
That's good. I'll tell you. That's good. So let's actually go over those financials, because that is something that came out since the last time that we did this. Fidel got his hockey up, man. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
I'm pushing.
That's good. You had that Luffy versus Katakuri match. You wanted to learn that advanced observation hockey. You learned it.
Exactly.
Bro, you just said a bunch of shit, bro. Like, I don't even know what you just said.
Shofu knows what I mean, right? Shofu, you're caught up.
Caught up to what?
One Piece.
Are you crazy? I
haven't
watched One Piece in at least 3 months.
Wait, you're definitely in Wano country.
Yeah, and then I turned that shit off when
so
Luffy took 30 when Luffy took 30 minutes to fall out of that ring. I turned that shit off. I'm not sure if I know who that is. I don't remember. I need to refresh it.
Shit anime like Tower of God, yes sir.
Okay. We'll talk about Tower of Simp later. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Hold on. So before we get to that, we got to talk about the financials. So the financials came out for the Nintendo Switch. Officially now, Nintendo Switch is sitting at 55 million units sold right now. It is now, it has surpassed the N64 and the GameCube, and now it has surpassed the Super Nintendo, which is unbelievable. So literally, the only two systems in Nintendo history that have sold more than our home consoles are the NES and the Wii. And I would imagine probably by the time of the next financial, if it's already at 55, and this only included like 1 week or 1 week and a half's worth of sales of Animal Crossing, Switch is going to surpass NES.
Quarantine gave the Switch that good boost.
Well, then they gave the they gave the official numbers of Animal Crossing as of like a day before they did the financials, and it was like 14.5 million, which is like it already outsold fucking New Leaf in 6 weeks.
Yeah, in 6 weeks.
That's insane.
It outsold New Leaf. It outsold so many other games that Switch that have already sold so much. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Splatoon 2, Mario Party, Mario Bros. Deluxe, Luigi's Mansion 3 got bumped off of the top 10 financials. So all of these changes happened. Yeah. Crazy. And so I am wondering, because we know there's been a lot of sell-through with Animal Crossing, I'm sure by the next financial, Animal Crossing will have surpassed, maybe not Sword and Shield, but it'll be close. I think it'll be up there, maybe above Sword and Shield, or Mario Odyssey. I don't think it's going to pass Breath of the Wild just yet, because Breath of the Wild is pretty good sell-through. But But I don't know, man. I mean, it's been doing gangbusters. So good for Animal Crossing, man.
And like Mario Party and Splatoon 2 both crossed 10 million, which is like also really big. Crazy. Especially Mario Party. That game didn't even get a patch. It got nothing.
It literally came out, and then they said, "Oh, it's a Mario Party on Switch," and they bought it. So,
and those numbers are all from physical sales, right? Not digital.
These are
no, these are digital.
These include digital. Yeah, these include digital. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really incredible seeing how great the Switch is doing, and I think this further proves like what we were talking about on previous Japan Time episodes, where like the big push moving into the rest of the year, right? Even if we do get Mario remasters or more of these ports or whatever, it's like you look at the things at the top of the leaderboard, right? You got Smash Bros. Ultimate, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Animal Crossing New Horizons. All these games are getting DLC this year, all of them. So they're going to continue to sell through. The one thing that stands out, though, is that sitting at the top is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with almost 25 million units sold, which is insane. That is a port of a Wii U game.
Mario Kart ain't going nowhere.
Still selling like crazy. But then it makes us wonder, like, they've got to have another Mario Kart coming out then for the system. They have to.
100%.
Having, right? Like, what the fuck are they going to do?
I'm feeling like they're going to just, like, have every single track remastered in the Mario Kart 8 engine, probably, like, looking crispy.
You think? I feel
probably
like
was taking so long.
Yeah, maybe. I'd love if it was like more, because they saw how successful the Zelda track and Animal Crossing and Splatoon stuff was, that I feel like they want to lean into that more. Like, obviously keep it the name as Mario Kart because that's too big.
Right.
But like double in on like Kirby tracks and Metroid tracks. Like that shit would destroy.
Well, I think that's kind of what they have to do if they want to differentiate it, right? Because like I'm sure they want Mario Kart 8 to keep selling. Like but I also think they kind of need the Mario Kart name. So if they're going to do another Mario Kart in the system at some point, I would imagine that it'd be like Mario Kart Adventure or like Mario and Friends Kart or like even doing something super different, or like a Double Dash 2 or something. But something that really makes it stand out when paired next to Mario Kart 8. I think that's what they have to do.
Mario Kart All-Stars Racing Transformed?
Yeah, basically. But I think that's that's one of the few steps I think they could make to really differentiate it if they want to have another one on the system. Yeah. Like they could just go with Mario Kart 9, but that would be unprecedented. Like them doing 2 numbered Mario Kart games on a system has never happened before.
Yeah, but do you even consider Mario a Switch game?
It doesn't matter what I think. I think it matters what the main most people who aren't like following gaming news and aren't like us, who maybe didn't buy a Wii U, literally bought a Switch and went, "Whoa, a new HD Mario Kart game! That's amazing! I haven't played one since the Wii." Like, there's a lot of people who are like that, and so I think that's sort of what they're dealing with right now. They sort of ignored what happened on the Wii U, right? It's like this is the Switch's Mario Kart game.
That seemed to be like the whole strategy. Take every single like co-op game that people still play on the Wii U and just give brains to the Switch.
Right. And so I'm glad you brought that up because there's rumors right now of a Pikmin 3 Deluxe coming to the Switch at some point this year. And that game has an incredible multiplayer mode with Bingo Battle. So I would love to see that. So online on the Switch would be fantastic. My question is, because that wasn't in this financial report, because this financial report did put a little thing up of like upcoming games, and it included Clubhouse games, and it mentioned Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 as TBA, as well as Breath of the Wild 2 as TBA. I am wondering, like, why wouldn't that have been in this financial report? I understand that Paper Mario wasn't in it because it's sort of like a new iteration of a game series that obviously is a relatively big deal, but like a Pikmin 3 remake seems like something they would have thrown in there.
Pikmin 3 is going to be I feel like that's a really complicated game to even port over to the Switch because of how they had the gamepad iteration with it, because the areas were so much bigger in Pikmin 3, they actually made it an emphasis to use the gamepad to like assign Charlie and Brittany and like Alf different locations. So you're kind of multitasking with that game, and doing that without like having that extra little screen on there is going to be, I'm pretty sure they're like going through so many different avenues of how they're going to attack that, because yeah, that's pretty interesting. So
feels the same thing with Xenoblade X with people wanting that. They do a lot with that game, but it's like they use the gamepad. Like I felt like that was like the one game that actually made me like having a gamepad because it did a lot.
Games that heavily use gamepad are, it's like, even with like, I don't think they're ever gonna do it because no one really cares. But that Kirby game, Rainbow Curse, they use the gamepad. I think games that were like heavily gamepad used are like the biggest ones.
Nintendo Land.
Well,
Yeah,
I do want to ask you guys, because we're talking about Wii U games that have heady gamepad play. You know, there was something that came out since the last Japan time, and that is the Switch port of the Wonderful 101. Has anybody been playing that at all?
Is that even out yet?
Yeah.
For people who backed it, it's out.
It's out
Digitally,
for
it comes
people who
out
backed
next
it,
week.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
when can I
on.
get that?
It's on Steam. You can get the Steam version.
It's on Steam.
Yeah, it was sent to people. I haven't played it yet because I want to wait for my physical version.
It looks really good.
From what I saw, the digital Foundry thing, apparently the Switch version runs worse than the Wii U version.
Oh.
What?
Yeah,
I know it looks
saw that.
damn near the same, but I didn't know.
It looks, yeah, of course, yeah. They basically port it, but like the Switch version has like FPS dips, and people are even mad that like the PC version only goes to 60. There's no like unlock stuff, so people are kind of disappointed with the port.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
You think it's just like early stuff, or they're gonna like patch in stuff later since they have all
Maybe.
that Kickstarter
Yeah, they
money?
have DLC plans for it, so because of the stuff that passed, so they might patch it. I could see them do it. But I don't know. It feels like this was like the, hey, let's just push this, let's get it out there, and now let's work on all our independent stuff.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much covers it for Wonderful 101. If none of the rest of us actually played it. Anything else in those financials you guys want to discuss? Because, I mean, there is a lot of interesting stuff in there. Did you, by chance, get a chance to read the Q&A? Like, was
yeah,
there
I saw some of the
Q&A?
stuff. Yeah, there was. So they talked about something. So first of all, they mentioned again that they want to increase more value for online. So I assume in September, once it's the 2-year anniversary, we're going to get another... What do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be N64 or do you think it's going to be Game Boy?
Who knows?
I think it's N64.
There's
I
not
think
even like
it's
enough
N64.
SNES games on there yet.
Because, yeah, I don't think they really need to add that many more. Like, in terms of SNES, the things that are missing are the big third-party RPGs and the Donkey Kong Country games. And that's, like, pretty much it. Most of the first-party Super Nintendo games you would want are on there.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's probably going to be the situation with N64, where we're going to get something where, you know, maybe like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Donkey Kong 64, like Mario Kart 64, that kind of stuff. I think we'll end up seeing those on the system. The big question is, if it is N64 and we are getting a remaster of Mario 64, that would be really weird to then, like, because you know Mario 64 would have to be on there if they're going to do N64 on Switch. So I'm wondering why they would, you know,
no clue.
choose to do that. That's the only thing maybe working in Game Boy's favor, in my opinion. Oh, Earthbound is missing. Well, yeah, but that goes in line with what I was talking about. Earthbound and Mario RPG, those are RPGs. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The RPGs and the third-party games are what's missing. So.
And what else? They gave, I mean, they talked about obviously how COVID, like they did say like it's going to affect their development pipeline, but they still have stuff to show. And the other notable thing was that, they said that the Switch is now barely midway through its life. So I assume we've got like 3 or 4 years to go with the base Switch or whatever it is.
That really doesn't surprise me, though, because I saw a lot of people talking about that being like, oh, really? Like, we still have that much longer with the Switch? It's like, yeah. I mean, you think about the lifespan of the DS or the 3DS. Yeah, I mean, it's normal. Obviously, this is a home console, but with the Switch selling as well as it is and all the games selling as well, and with the new systems, like, we still don't really know what the launch lineup for those games are or anything like that, and they're not really competing with them. I mean, the Switch could go on for years. And that's not even, like, we know at some point we're going to get a Switch Pro, right? Yeah. We're going to get some other iteration, and that's still going to fall in line with that. I mean, I could easily see it going for another 4 years. So, which then goes back to what we were talking about with Mario Kart, is like, we're going to obviously have to get another Mario Kart in the system if this one's selling so well. What were you saying?
I was going to say with that, the financial thing when they mentioned the online, it seemed like they were more saying people aren't satisfied with it. So I thought, well, and a lot of people thought that maybe they would do something to update their online infrastructure in general, so it just run better, besides just putting in more games.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they should do. That's what I would want. I think I saw someone else bring this up in the chat. This is something I do want to discuss, too, is it was announced by Capcom earlier this week that there are multiple upcoming game announcements to come in the next few months. And one of the big rumors for a while now has been that we're going to get a Monster Hunter game on Switch. Doesn't even really feel like a rumor at this point. I mean, Monster Hunter has had a pretty good relationship with Nintendo consoles for a while. People were sort of expecting that, obviously. It's like Monster Hunter is such a huge sales boom for systems in Japan, and Switch is already doing so well. It just seems like a natural fit.
That should be Monster Hunter stories. That'd be crazy.
No, I think it's going to be a mainline game. But, I mean, that's what I was going to ask you guys is, do you think it's going to be a spinoff, or do you think it's going to be like a portable type game utilizing like the classic Monster Hunter style and not really adding in the new things that were added in World.
Yeah, when I heard this, that's what I heard. That's what people were saying it was going to be. It was going to be like, you know, like Generations, like that style of like classic Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So would it be like the Generations style, but they have the gameplay like World
No. Because like the whole thing about World is like, so World is a very good game and a very good starting point if you have never played Monster Hunter. Like, World is a really good game in general, but if you've played Monster Hunter, World is very different than normal Monster Hunter. What they can do is take stuff they learn from World and bring that and advance the normal gameplay style, but it would be more so like the normal games than World.
Because like I feel like now World was so huge that like the next one that's going to be looked at, they need to incorporate elements from World, because I think because now we're at that point. Monster Hunter World is so big that there's a lot of casuals that are in. Before it was like much more hardcore. So I feel like they do need to
but
integrate.
then I think they do a good thing if they still leave World. World's not going anywhere. They're going to keep making World style games. But then you have the older series. You make another, I don't know what you call it. Just call it Monster Hunter 5 or something.
Yeah.
And then like you can treat that as like something for the people who like the old style, and then the people who into Monster Hunter with World can learn how Monster Hunter was before.
That's true. That's a good
point. I kind of like that. I like if it becomes a sub-series and we get like a Monster Hunter World sub-series and then Monster Hunter, like the numbered series again. That would be great. Yeah. If they do call the next one Monster Hunter 5 and they put it on Switch, like I'm down for that.
That's pretty wild,
Yeah. And I think there's a pretty high likelihood of that happening. The other game I'm seeing a lot of people talking about and bringing up, because we really have not heard about it in a very long time, but we know it's in development, is the new Ace Attorney.
Yeah, man.
You know, we have not seen anything about that game or heard anything about that game.
Ace Attorney?
Ace Attorney, the new one for Switch.
When the fuck was that announced?
It was announced 2017. Like no, even Tokyo Mirage Sessions. It was announced Tokyo Game Show September 2017. It's I remember watching that live at night, and they went dead silent on it, which is so weird.
Yeah, so it got announced the first year of the Switch, and we know it's coming to the Switch, and we don't know anything about it yet. And people aren't like, it's obviously not canceled. I mean, that's a huge series for them. So I'm just wondering when we're going to hear anything, if ever. And obviously, that's the other big thing, too. You mentioned Tokyo Game Show. Since the last episode, I mean, this is what we're talking about. There was a lot of news since the last episode 2 weeks ago. Tokyo Game Show has also been canceled, which, you know, is in September, obviously. Makes sense considering the global situation. You know, naturally, you're going to want to cancel Tokyo Game Show. But that, I feel, is a bigger loss than even losing E3.
Yeah, they're doing digital presentations, though.
So, wait, do you want to go into that a little bit? Like, what's going on with that? Like,
I mean, like, they announced that, like, because the next two big ones aside that E3 that was killed are Gamescom and Tokyo Games Show, and those are confirmed to have digital events. Even Gamescom, like today, they announced they're going to do an opening night live where they have stuff, and in general, like, since last time we've got so many, like, so we have. Most likely, PlayStation event is being like heavily rumored for June 5th. We have IGN doing a showcase in June. We have GameSpot doing one. Ubisoft confirmed they're doing one in July. Square said they're not doing one, but yeah, we're getting Tokyo Game Show still in September. So I assume we're still going to get a lot of Japanese announcements there. And Xbox is doing a second showcase in July for first parties. So everyone's doing.
So Xbox announced that they're doing some every month, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But July is their big first party showcase. This
so that's like Halo and everything.
Yeah, and we have Jeff Keighley who's doing his summer of Game Fest, which is like every week or something you're getting something from him. Like he revealed Tony Hawk. Yeah, it's a crazy summer.
Yeah. Well, all right. The only unfortunate thing is we don't know when there's going to be a direct, if ever. I kind of don't mind, though. Part of me is upset because I like having a little bit of heads up before like recording a live reaction. But part of me, it was also kind of fun, like waking up on Wednesday and then thinking it was a fake thing that just got linked to me about some Paper Mario game, and then going, "Oh, no, this is actually real," and then recording the reaction. That was pretty fun. So
we could still get game-specific directs because the rumor was specifically is that they're not doing a Nintendo Direct and they're telling their third-party partners to do announcements on their own. But that doesn't stop them from doing, "Oh, here's a Mario Direct where we'll run you by the 3D Mario remasters and stuff, and obviously the Smash presentation."
Well, yeah, we know we're going to get a Smash presentation at the very least. Exactly. We know we're getting that. So,
I think one thing Nintendo hates about not having E3 too is because they even if they were to do a Nintendo Direct, they don't have that deep dive for a week of Treehouse stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we can't even do all that, so we might as well just do whatever we're doing.
Well, that's something that they could easily fix. I mean, if they want to do a Treehouse type thing, they could do what they did with me, right? Where you had like a Zoom demo of Xenoblade. They could have people demoing the games from home and then upload it to their YouTube channel. I mean, there's no reason they can't do that. They do Nintendo Minutes every week and all that kind of stuff. So there's no reason they can't do that.
So we'll see. We've got a ton of stuff still coming. Maybe Mega Man X9, please. It's time.
Shin Megami Tensei 5, we also need to know more about. It's not a Capcom game, but still.
Yeah.
Eventually.
We'll see when that happens.
One day we'll find out more about that. I don't know. We'll see. But I think that pretty much covers everything. I think we've hit every news story, unless there's something else you guys want to talk about. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Because I know Tito was bringing this up earlier. You want to talk about Tower of God a little bit?
No.
Not really.
You want to talk about the Demon Slayer manga ending?
No.
I'm honestly surprised it ended so soon.
Oh my!
Right? I'm thinking the same thing, considering how successful it's been.
Hey, don't worry about that stream. You didn't hear shit.
Huh?
Don't worry about it.
They heard something.
No, they didn't hear nothing.
Mid Slayer, Demon Slayer leaks.
Trap
He said
Ketchum.
Tower of Mid.
Trap Ketchum 2 leak. Wait. What's this?
Yo, Shofu.
Nothing, bro. Nothing happened at all.
Actually, hold on though. So since you're pulling a Zorro and saying nothing happened, I want to bring this up at the very end of this podcast because people have been sending me emails about an anime beef that you had. Do you care to tell our listeners what happened over the course of the last week and a half and what the entire rundown of what happened was?
I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, okay?
Okay, please tell me.
Go, run us down.
I was on stream doing exactly what I always do. I watch videos and I react to them. I don't react to them. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just watching the videos, but obviously when I watch the videos, I'm going to have a reaction.
Of course.
I watched an anime cyber, didn't like it. I did nothing out of the norm, by the way. Not at all.
So you were literally just watching something people said to you to watch, and you were watching it.
And I react. I mean, you people know me by now. I just talk hella shit all the time. I don't necessarily mean any harm, but I mean, obviously, if the people watching or the people involved in whatever I'm talking about see it, they might get their feelings hurt by that. But I honestly have no ill will at the end of the day. I don't have anything against these people. Anyways. Standard show.
That's what I had assumed.
Yeah, of course not. It's not like I went out of my way to go watch this video and hate on it. They sent it to
people sent it to you, right?
Exactly. So somebody sent me an anime cipher. It was a Shonen Jump cipher. I didn't like it. I talked hella shit. Standard. And for some reason, I don't know what's going on. Lately, so many people have been taking my Twitch clips and uploading them onto YouTube. There's like fucking 10 channels doing that shit.
Oh, is that why they
so
put
these
that
people,
Why do people
it's a lot.
Yeah, so these people that might not necessarily have seen what I said are seeing it because, you know, they're uploading it and they're putting the title of the YouTube video and stuff and it's recommended and all that shit. Not that I have a problem with that because I said what I said. I'd say it if they were there. I'd say it if they weren't there. Doesn't matter. But obviously the people that enjoy that kind of stuff get mad and they start tweeting at me, and people that are involved get mad and they start yelling at me on Twitter, and I just don't care. But that's it, honestly.
Right. So that's what I thought too. Jump to a stream 2 days ago where people are like, "Oh my god, did you know that there's like beef between Shofu and this other anime rapper?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." Like,
there's no beef anywhere at
like,
all.
I'm like, "What? Reason. Like, what is this?" I didn't know anything about this. And so like Matt was in my chat and he's explaining the whole thing and he links me to the thing and I'm listening to it and I was sort of the same thing. I was like, I'm used to the Pokemon Cypher and stuff. It wasn't my cup of tea. I was sitting listening to this. I'm like, I've heard better, you know. But it wasn't something where I thought like, oh, this is going to turn into a big thing. Jump to 24 hours ago, I got 4 different emails in my business email inbox. People asking me,
emails,
what do you? Yeah, emails, not even like, and DMs on Instagram too. And they're from different accounts. So then I was like, all right, what's going on here? From different accounts, all saying, well, you know, you do that Japan Time podcast with Shofu, and I know you're friends with Nuxtaku, and he does anime videos, and you're both friends, and your friends, they're in this thing where the cipher that came out about anime, they're against the people who did the Pokemon cipher, and they reacted to it, and they were being mean, and do you have thoughts on this? And I literally, I emailed them back. I'm like, don't ever. First off, I'm not a rapper. Shut your mouth. I'm not a rapper. So don't ever involve me in this too. All right. I don't want to hear about your rap beef. And I certainly don't want to hear about your anime rap beef. All right. That is an upper tier level of it. If you have an anime rap beef, bro, please do something better with your life. All right.
I'm gonna be honest.
Roger is barring you all to death right
this
now.
Is
Roger
not
is
shade at Shofu. This is not shade at the guy who made the anime cipher at all. This is shade to all ladies sending me emails about this, telling me your friends are in things that other ones don't like. I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't care. All right?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. These people sound
they're weenies. They're
they
weenies.
sound kind of pathetic.
Okay. They are pathetic. They are
what
pathetic.
happens. Stay out of my inbox.
Certainly. So I've said all that. Don't involve me in beef. Don't involve me in anime rap beef. Certainly do not email. Do not DM me. Do not do any of this stuff. But if I get another email to my business email about this anime rap beef nonsense, I promise you, I will blast you on Twitter and I will put your email out there. I promise. Send it to me again. Please stop. Thank you very much.
Just know Roger.
I felt the heat.
Anyone who said Roger didn't have bars obviously has not listened to Roger. Roger got bars.
I'm not a rapper. Don't even start this. I'm not a rapper. Don't start.
Bro. He's an adapter, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Roger's.
You went to Roger's base, bro?
Yeah, that sounds dumb.
You're done.
Anyway, so that's my. I just wanted to bring that up.
Take a breath.
You got a breath, bro?
We get it, bro. Take a breath. Take a breath, bro. It's okay.
There's just so
Show
many
who's a
weenies
fucking
online
bully. We all
nowadays.
know.
I'm not a bully, bro.
He's not even a bully.
Yeah,
The thing that made me so mad about this, right, is that like it was something that was sent to him, right? I imagine if I was in that situation, right, and I was on a live stream and I'm doing a reaction live stream, right, and people all the time, they donate things to me, you know, oh, watch this video, watch this thing or whatever. And I just give my general reaction to whatever that thing is, right? I mean, I've listened to cover songs of things that I didn't like and I talked about it on streams, but it wasn't like it's not like Shofu. It'd be different if Shofu went out of his way and uploaded like a video to his channel and was like, "Oh, listen to this like shit anime stuff I listen to. He's trash."
I'm not even
That's
the one putting out this content on YouTube.
It was a Twitch clip that somebody shared without his knowledge that then went online. I mean, that's ludicrous.
Like
That's
I said,
ludicrous.
I get it. I get it. Like I said,
thing.
I get it. I said what I said in the video. They can take that any way they want, but it's just at the end of the day, I'm not actively trying to show this content to you. Like I didn't.
It's not like you know these people and you're going at them just to be like,
That's
oh,
what I'm
man,
saying.
this
I don't know
motherfucker.
them in the first place, so anything I say is not personal.
It doesn't seem like. And the thing about this, which is so weird, is like it's not even. It doesn't seem to be you or those anime cipher guys. It's like these fans that like want there to be
It's
beef.
always the fans.
It's like go watch
It's the
TMZ,
gremlins.
bro. It exists. Stop being a
Trying to
gremlin.
start something.
Look,
I mean, it's
Shuffle
a
Mama
perfectly
Run.
normal
What are you doing,
reaction.
man?
When somebody talks shit about something you like, it's a perfectly
But that's
normal
the
reaction to
fact
be
we talked
upset
about
by
this
it.
before.
But
It's
just,
not a normal reaction. No, it's not. All right,
It is normal.
It's not. It's not a normal reaction. If your personality hinges on something that you like being quality, that is not normal. Get a life. That is not normal.
Okay,
It's
let me
not.
rephrase.
Full stop.
It's
not-
common.
no.
Let me rephrase.
It's common.
It's a common thing.
Correct. It's a common thing, but it shouldn't be common. Full stop. It should not be common. That is something that I feel like has erupted in this like social media age that we're in right now, where people's personalities are so tied to the things that they like because they don't actually have a personality. And then they're the first ones to come at you to be like, oh, you know, hating things isn't a personality, Rogers Base. It's like, shut your
He's
damn
projecting.
mouth.
He's projecting.
Tell your
He's
mom.
projecting.
Unbelievable.
Bro, it's
there
the same.
Well, for
it's
me,
the same
for
argument
me, a
with,
lot
like,
of people,
like fanboys, bro.
a lot of
like,
people-
it's the same thing.
A lot of people go directly at my music when I say somebody else's music is trash, but I don't react like that when people call my shit trash. I just don't.
Why would you? Why would you? There's been plenty.
I just don't care
about plenty of videos or watch plenty of things, and then people will respond to me and be like, "Well, you know, it's your videos aren't very good, or like your Frozen covers weren't good, whatever. Who are you to judge?" And I'm like, like I almost said something that's very not Disney. I'm not going to say that, but I caught myself. I'm good.
Just know that we know what you're going to say.
You knew what I was going to say. Exactly, weenies. But anyway, you knew what I was going to say.
Say it. Let's go.
No, but it's just stop doing that, man. Like, don't. It is so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
You can't
it's
really
just
stop
like
it, so I just let it happen. But I don't know. It's every other day I get on Twitter and somebody mad at something I said 2 weeks ago. It's getting ridiculous.
And it's not even just you. I think it's like this. There's like a defensive blind positivity that's out there. I tweeted about this, and I feel like it's become so common. And the thing that I know Fidel agrees with me is like, there's nothing wrong with being hyped about something, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with being excited about something, whether it's Paper Mario or whatever, right? Be excited about stuff. That's great. That's what we're all here for. We live for the hype. But hype responsibly. Like, I get hyped for a new Frozen movie, but I know what it is. Like, I know I'm not out here being like, oh, the new Frozen movie is the greatest thing of all time. I'm hyped because I like Frozen, but I'm not out here saying it's the most quality, best movie of all time. You should all like it, otherwise you're bad people and you're toxic. That's not what I got at all.
But again, even if you did say that, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're all just some guys on the internet, and they're getting mad about some guys on the internet saying things.
The key is to understand that something he like might be trash to someone else. That's literally.
Are they that bored in quarantine? Like, are they that bored? I think
no life.
Dude, like someone getting unhinged.
Quarantine be hitting different.
Like I watched that Ghost thing, that Ghost Tsushima thing, and I didn't like it. I was like, and someone was like, "Why are you faking like not being something?"
There were people in my live chat because you rated me after that, and I forgot what I was streaming, and there were people in my live chat who were like, "Oh, Fidel's such a hater. Like, why do you do Japan time?" I'm like, "What? People are just trash, man. I'm telling you. It's just like what you like. Stop being worried about what other people like."
It's like. You know, like I said, I do the same thing on stream a lot. Like I'll listen to something, or I'll listen to like an album, or I'll watch a video on YouTube. And like I said, the people, they get mad when I watch the YouTube. Like, just imagine me listening to Future's album, right? I just listened to Future's album the other day.
Right.
I said that shit was big trash. Imagine Future getting on fucking Twitter and screaming at me because I called his album.
Hold on, that's impressions. Hold on.
That'd be great, but I'm just saying, like I said, it's a reaction. So anything I say is not personal. I might be saying whatever the fuck I don't know. I don't understand it. I do understand, but I don't.
With your friends, bro. Like there's like, you can take anything out of context. It's like I when I do my reactions, like I'm on call with my friends. It's such a different energy. Like if you're on call and you're fucking around with your friends, it's not like you're seriously sitting down critically being like, "Yo, man." It's like you're just fucking talking shit. It's like a natural human thing. Even the people that are criticizing you, they do that all the time for shit they don't like.
Fun. Of course, and it's not like you guys are watching it expecting people to like send it to them and be like, "Oh, whoa, these people hated your thing." Like that's the weirdest thing about it. It's just get a life. I don't understand.
If you send somebody something and they shit on it, either you adapt and improve, or you accept that thing wasn't for them and you move the fuck on. That's literally all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Roger, and now you know why I say fuck the chat at all times. Now you know why.
See, but the chat, like the thing is, you got to train your chat to be like that. I feel like
train your chat.
You're getting confused. You think I'm attacking the individual person. That's not what fuck the chat means. It's the collective.
You just mean in general.
It's the collective.
The entity of the chat.
The collective chat is trash. Fuck them. But that guy in chat, he might be cool.
I don't
know him.
I feel you.
I don't know. It's crazy because even like going back to the Paper Mario thing, like I did my reaction to the trailer, right? And I love Paper Mario. I love it. It's like one of those series that like I wish there were good ones again because I love them. And so I saw the Bob-omb and I like screamed because I thought, oh my God, partners are coming back. But then for the rest of the video, I was like, you know what? I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I don't know. There's things that concern me, but I think it might be pretty good. And there were people who like clipped that and put it on Twitter and then were like, why are you faking your reaction to this thing? It's like you clearly didn't like it that much. I'm like, I did like it when I thought it was the thing that I thought it was, but it's not what I thought it was. And so my opinion changed. You know what I mean?
This whole thing with people clipping stuff out of context and just sharing it is like the most ass thing you can do. That's
You're a weirdo. That's weirdo. First of all, you're a weirdo. Second of all, you know what? Just go back to step one.
You're weird. Got you with a lot of free time.
Okay, but their whole career is made from that. That's the like clips. Unfortunately, hold too much weight.
Right.
But they also are very helpful if they're there. And if you really don't like clips, you can now just turn them off.
Man, Shuffle was right, bro. The fans are always watching.
Bro, I kept trying to tell these people.
Bro, he was right. Like I knew he was right, but now I know he's right. You know what I'm saying? Like
you just got to be.
The thing is, though, even if clips didn't exist on Twitch, I guarantee you, people would still be recording your streams and then clip them themselves. Like it's not something that would ever go. I mean, that happened when Etiquette would stream. Every time he would stream, right, there would be immediately right afterwards clips of everything that he watched. You know,
and you know who did that, Roger? The chat. Fuck the chat. You're starting to learn. You're starting to learn.
See, but I like my chat. I wouldn't say
that's
that.
kind of the issue. Is like, if like the person who's traveled to this event, paid all this money to stream it and do stuff, then someone who's at home just uploads the thing so even can get.
You talking about Sir Toasty?
No. I think no.
Yo, you're a
because my thing is, I think Sir Toasty's thing. I think what Sir Toasty does is almost.
Toasty, wait, Toasty. I want to go on record. Yo, we're cool though, right? We cool? We cool,
Toasty? Wait. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't tell a lie anywhere.
No, I'm not. No,
but a nigga go get on Twitter and be like, "Yo, Sir Toasty, Shuffy said some shit about you," and then somebody gonna be mad. It's a fucking cycle. It's a fucking cycle.
This is not me. I want to clarify, Toasty, because I know you're gonna hear this. Clarify that is my friend talking. That is not.
I wouldn't even opinions of me.
Sending more people to show.
I haven't even said anything yet.
It really be wrong. Then again, who else could it be?
All I was gonna say is I think Toasty's actually good. It gets more people. Like maybe people follow Toasty.
Bro, you can literally apply the same logic to whatever else you were gonna say, McDermott. You can easily do it. You can easily.
I know I'm gonna get so many more emails right now. People are gonna be like, "Are Sir Toasty and Shofu and beef? Can you tell me?"
As the smallest content creator,
whatever you were gonna say about these people uploading these streams on YouTube, you could easily apply the same logic to both of these people.
Wait, what were you gonna say, David?
What were you gonna say?
As the smallest content creator in this call, I just gotta say, from the outside looking in, I can't wait until I'm so up there where people can actually take my opinion and throw it back at me and like act like I have some type of weight to their actual thought process.
It's overrated. You don't know what you're talking about.
You say that now until you say something incredibly harmless, which you feel is harmless, and everyone there feels is harmless. But someone clips it, puts it out there, and then people watch it completely out of context, and now you have tons of hate.
Exactly.
That is not as enjoyable.
That's how I know I made it.
I mean, at some point, you're just not gonna give a fuck like me. But
you have to.
I'm on that low level, and people still fucking hate me, and I know I made it with them. It's fucking. It's a trash fire, bro. Yeah, it's like there's so much good, but then there's just like those like, especially this fucking quarantine, man. Got these kids sitting home not doing jack shit.
Well, that was the thing, right? Is I did a stream last week when we didn't do a Japan time, which by the way, my bad. I should have let you guys know in the Discord thing. I thought we weren't doing one. It was my bad. But I did last week on Monday night. I did a stream about My Hero Academia because I caught up to the manga, and I have not been really enjoying what's been going on in the manga. I just feel like it's kind of mid. I haven't been enjoying it. I don't like Shigaraki as a character. I don't like a lot of stuff. I'm not going to get too much into spoilers, but whatever. And I put this thing out there, and somebody, the main antagonist, and somebody tweeted at me, and because when I said like, oh, My Hero, I'm not really liking it right now, but it is what it is, and people like were making streams.
I saw a guy. He said, "Yeah, you're gonna go back to watching One Piece, the greatest piece of media ever made."
Right, and the thing I tweeted back at him, I'm like, bro, you could smell the insecurity through the tweet because it's like I'm not out here saying that One Piece is the most original manga on the planet. I'm not out here defending
you didn't say anything about One Piece to begin with. It was an irrelevant comment. The fuck is he talking about? One Piece for?
I'm like, I'm talking about My Hero Academia. Why are you talking about One Piece? They're two totally different series. One's been running for 2 decades almost. And the other, well, it has been running for 2 decades now, right? They just did the 20th anniversary. Yeah. It's running for 2 decades. The other one's been going for 4 years. And I was literally just expressing my opinions.
Wait,
and then
One Piece has been going on for 2 decades?
Yeah, 20 years.
We still haven't found it yet? Yo, Luffy sucks, bro. What?
Yeah. But it was funny because then I've never experienced this with a fandom ever before, but I'd put that tweet out there, putting that other guy on blast, and then people were like inviting, like fans of the series were then inviting me to like talk to them about the series right now and like try to get me to like it. And genuinely, like, that stream was helpful because it made me understand where fans were coming from. I still don't think it's like the greatest story arc we're in right now ever, but I do actually like it more having listened to the people who are fans. So I do think in certain times it's like important to go and listen to people who do actually like something. If you liked something previously and you're not liking it anymore, to understand maybe why you don't like it. But it's a different thing. If you don't like something to begin with, and it's very like you're open about it, and you say right away like, yeah, this isn't my thing, and people get offended by that. Like, why?
Everybody's always in defense mode, bro? Like, what is your problem? I should be able to say whatever I want about whatever I want. If you can say something is good, I can say it's bad, and those are equal sides of the same fucking coin. I don't need to explain why I think anything is bad if you can just say it's good and not have an explanation. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's just what you brought up too. It's like we're just people online. Like it doesn't matter what your audience size is, whatever. Like you're still just a regular person. We are no different than anybody else. Like us saying something should not mean more to you than like if some Joe Schmo with like 3 followers says the same thing. It should mean the exact same thing to you. You know what I mean?
People, I mean, I think it's like even like Shovu, like you put up that tier. Why do people care what you think? They care what you think because they think that high number you got makes you like a higher person.
That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck am I? I ain't shit.
People.
We're all just regular. Like we're all fucking.
I'm the same as anybody else saying anything. It just doesn't matter.
I want to play. I want to play
mumble rapper, bro. Like what is we talking about?
This being said, if anyone ever sends you a K-pop music video link, never click that shit. Because if I see any of your names trending, something is over party on Twitter, I swear.
Oh, is that what those are about?
The K-pop fandom is unhinged.
I mean, I kind of like BTS, so I think I'm fine. I'm
okay, you're fine.
Shout out to Arumi Shannon. Shout out to her. I'm good.
Can I play devil's advocate with this?
Go ahead.
No.
Here we go. This ought to be good.
No, let's hear it.
I get exactly what you're saying. It's like, yeah, you're just a normal person. But the thing about it is, because you have a large number, it means whatever you say, a bunch of people see it. So people see that.
Who the fuck cares?
Okay, but hold on. But people see that and get paranoid, thinking that you're going to say something. And a bunch of people are just going to believe what you say and aren't going to like go experience.
But whose problem is that? Is that my problem? I didn't tell them to believe what I say.
I'm just saying.
Goddamn shit. You can't think for themselves.
I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
No, of course I get it too.
Bunch of go-goats.
Again, it's like yes, there is like a. We're all equal. Of course, there's like when you have a higher following and shit, like people are. It's just the only difference is that just more eyes are on you. Like you're the same person. It's just that you got more laser eyes on you. And
it's just what the meaning of an influencer is. It's like you have the ability to influence people.
Yeah, right. But like if you are, there's a different. But that's the thing. It's like influencer. It's like sure you're influencing, but like you shouldn't be like fucking you're not like mind controlling, you know what I mean? That's the thing, you know? It's supposed to be you're an influencer, like you're giving your thoughts, giving your opinions and shit, but that doesn't mean I'm fucking forcing you to like something I fucking like, you know what I mean?
All that means is more people that have the opposite opinion are gonna see what you say.
I mean, exactly. If we're being really, really honest,
go for it.
Which is like for those of you who don't know, I was a 4 years and we teach media We teach media literacy. So it's like, what does it mean to have an online presence? So basically, so you don't get fired, right? Because that's like a thing.
Right.
So don't get fired. A lot of people tie their opinions to their identity. So when you insult someone's opinion, or like you be like, hey, the thing you like is bad, kind of what Roger's saying, it basically feels like you're insulting them. Be like, basically, if I say the Tower of God is an awful fucking anime, okay? And someone really likes Tower of God, it's basically me saying, hey, your mother's a whore. They're not the same thing.
That guy's mom is a whore, though.
Oh, my God. I saw something in the chat, and I had to just shut my mouth. I was going to say something.
I know exactly what you said. Let's leave that alone.
I'm leaving it alone.
That's big.
I'm leaving it alone. That's big.
Where is it?
I'm not getting into that. That's big.
LMAO.
Absolute big.
Oh, man. Thank you very much for talking me down.
Try to find it.
No, stop.
No, I'll copy. You want me? I have it up. You want it?
Continue though. Continue with what you were saying.
No, that's basically it. It's just that like that, but that's a thing that has developed because we're all older. Like we're all older than a lot of. Yeah, he saw it. We're all older than, the average person on the internet at the moment. So we have the ability to separate because we have lived a part of our lives where our opinion online has no bearing on our value as people.
Right.
Where these guys,
and
that's all they see. That's all they see. They're sheep.
It's just weird that you're not allowed to think whatever the hell you want about something without somebody getting mad. Right. Like, who the fuck am I?
You're allowed to think whatever you want as long as you think the same thing I think.
Oh, okay. Exactly. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right. If you're overtly positive about something, no one cares. But except for a small demographic of people who then are like, oh, you're a fanboy, you're a shill, whatever. Because I get that all the time, obviously. Like whenever I do Nintendo brand ambassador stuff or like hashtag free game, whatever, right? People will always be like, you're such a fanboy, you're such a shill, you'll never say anything bad about Nintendo. And then I mentioned that like, oh, I don't like that the partners look generic in the new Paper Mario, or I don't like Star Fox Zero or whatever. Then all of a sudden people are like,
traitor.
why are you so critical? Yeah, you're such a traitor. Like you should be more positive all the time. It's like, I'm a person, I have opinions. Like,
yeah,
don't you
I feel like the disconnect there, Roger. It's not the same people saying that.
No, I know it's not, but I'm saying that well, actually, I don't know. I would argue that a lot of the time it is the same person.
I think it is.
Yeah,
but they expect
I'll see a name in like my comment section, right? And to the point where like I don't even really read my comment section anymore. I don't. Like I'll read the first hour, I see a familiar name, I'm like, that's cool. I give a heart, and then I'm good. I just upload it on upload now. But that is definitely something where I've seen people. This has especially happened with One Piece, where I really loved one of the story arcs of One Piece, and then it got kind of stupid at the end of a recent one, and I didn't like it, and I addressed my opinion. And these same people who were telling me that I needed to be more critical in my One Piece reviews a year prior, then were saying on my videos, like, how could you like betray us One Piece fans and say you don't like the thing, like you're such scum? Like I think a lot of the time that is the issue, is that it is the same people, and then it's like, well, then what exactly do you want from me? Because like I'm just literally sharing with you my opinions on things. It's like you don't want opinions. That's not what you want. You want to be told what to like. And I think that goes back to the sheep mentality you brought up earlier.
Well, it's like I fucking like some people think for some reason that I hate PlayStation. I like despise them and I talk about them just to talk shit. Right? I do. I'm totally. But like I've owned every fucking PlayStation hardware my entire life. I play most of the first party shit. The only reason I talk about them and I discuss my issues with them is because I'm invested in it. I don't talk about Xbox. I don't have an Xbox, and I don't care about those games.
Xbox One.
And it's because Last of Us is trash. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if I like it's like bro, people sitting there thinking like, oh, you just hate Ghost of Tsushima because it's PlayStation. I'm like, bro, no, I'm talking about the game because I have the platform and I'm invested and I give a shit about it. And it's like and some people will automatically think if you have 2 or 3 like negative things in a row, it's over. It means you officially hate this thing. It's like what it's something like, what are you talking about?
This goes back to like what Shofu talked about in a lot of his videos too. I know this happens with you constantly with Pokemon stuff, right? You obviously love Pokemon. You love Pokemon.
Yes, sir.
So the reason that you're critical about Pokemon and why you're like, this is trash, they need to change this, is because you want Pokemon to be better. You literally want it to be better. That's why you're saying that. You're being so critical, and you're giving reasons for being critical because you like it so much. You want the thing that you like more than anything else to be good.
I just don't understand why that's so difficult for other people to understand.
Well, exactly. Well, bro, because people don't understand that
you're not even a Pokemon fan, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
when we say the thing, and you say it especially, and people say it's like when we say this is trash, it doesn't mean this is like literally a 0 out of 10 garbage thing. That's just the meaning to say like there's something wrong here and we can fix this shit. Like trash doesn't necessarily mean this is the fucking worst thing I've seen in my life. It just means there's stuff to like criticize.
It's a delicate balance because in some regard, obviously at varying levels, we're all content creators. We're all in front of the camera. We're all on the internet. Yeah. So there is a difference between Shofu's stream wouldn't be as funny as if he went, that was okay. Now it's way funnier to go, that shit's trash. That's way funnier.
It's not even about being funny. That's just really how I feel, though. No, but I feel what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, let me give you an example of saying, if you're talking with us, like if you're chilling in call, you're listening to that Future album, right? You might think it's okay, right? Or I might think something was okay, but I might just say it's trash because it's a funny thing to say.
Exactly.
Okay, but I'm saying that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just using you as an example.
Don't use me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I wouldn't do that. If I think it's okay, I'll say it's okay. If I think it's trash, I'm gonna say it's trash. I'm not gonna say it's trash if I think it's okay just because that's funny. That's crazy. That's all I'm saying.
That's just like one of the things about being a content creator is like when you find that fandom that you want to be a part of, that thing you like. Of course, fandoms carry, but also on the flip side, fandoms can be super toxic to like a obnoxious extent.
That's a whole other thing though too. Is like this idea that like, oh, all fandoms are toxic and all this. Like I see this a lot with Animal Crossing now, where like I have had no issues with the Animal Crossing fandom at large ever. I haven't. That's not
There's always a pocket.
I feel like
that little pocket.
Roger, I feel like you're removed from it. Like I feel like when you get to that space to see that kind of stuff, you have to be in it. But someone who's not in it, you probably wouldn't see stuff. Because like there's been fan bases I've been in, and it's like, yeah, from the outside you might think the thing's dead, but there's tons of people there and they all care. But it's like if you're not in it, you just won't see that kind of stuff. So what I see from Animal Crossing, from people I know who are in like the Discords and stuff, people are like rioting over characters and scamming people over characters.
The Rayman thing is the funny.
Oh yeah, with Rayman.
I have eBay right now. Let me look on eBay right now live. See how much Rayman going for. Hold on.
I have Rayman on my town, right? And then a couple of days ago, he was talking about moving out.
All right, here we go. Rayman going for... Oh, wait, eBay.
That's disgusting. It's so gross.
That's hilarious, bro. I got him on my own. I was so happy because I knew people were going to be mad. It was
great. The thing is, I got Rayman early game, and I didn't even want him. I just found him, and I was like, oh, I wanted him. It's Rayman.
Go to the next island. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it's like, all of a sudden, all these people are like, it's literally the same 5 villagers on everybody's island, and it's actually kind of annoying. It's Marshall, Rayman, Bo the deer, and then Anka the cat, the Egyptian one, and Coco then there's like the same 6 people. And on like TikTok, for example, Animal Crossing TikTok is actually very hilarious. I keep seeing the same 6-7 villagers in everyone's island, and I'm just like, okay.
I got it.
Oh god, that reminds me of the tweet that I made that kind of blew up.
Let's hear it.
Oh no, just about the Animal Crossing
villages. No, it's not the price. Look at the title, bro. Look at the
Animal Crossing Super Rare Villager. Probably 1 in 397.
They're all 1 in 3.
Mexico.
Oh my god.
Probably 1 in 397.
Oh my god.
Yo, but the free shipping though.
That is
free shipping.
11 watchers, man. That's great. The funny thing about Animal Crossing, maybe it's because I've been part of multiple different game fandoms of Animal Crossing. Like I've seen sort of the lifetime of a lot of these games. Is I guarantee you, in like a year, all the characters that everybody wants, it's going to be like the ugly villagers that nobody wanted, that everyone's throwing out right now. We're going to be the ones that everyone's like, I need them for my town, because they need to make their own meta. They need to, all the people who like time travel, they got their stuff. Now they need to do new things to focus on, because now they have all the villagers they wanted, and they're going to make their own things. And I'm going to be sitting happy with Tucker and Kabuki and Clay and Flurry. Just, I've always liked them, not because they're rare, but because I just like them. And, I'll be sitting pretty. So, but it really is funny. But
I mean, like, you look at like
397, bro.
You look at, bro, anytime people say something's a toxic community, it's when you look at it, it's literally always the biggest games. People will say that for fucking Star Wars, for Pokemon, for Smash, anything that's big. Yeah, exactly.
Any big community has toxic people in it. It's a given.
Yeah, of course. Recently, but that's just because it's not as popular anymore.
Yeah.
It will be when we get Deltarune 2 or whatever. They're going to be crawling back, I'm sure.
Just be cool.
Now we need you to back up, man.
You're asking a lot of people there.
I know.
That's where it goes back. Just it's really like when you really sit down and think about it. It's not that hard to just be cool. It's really not that hard. You'll get so much more farther in joy and life.
Yeah, it's just really stupid. So. It's a bit difficult for them.
Yeah.
On a point that you mentioned earlier, how you were like, oh yeah, being a content creator in like example like mid-20s to like early 30s or whatever, you forget the unhinged passion, the blind passion that like the teens and early 20s have, and you're just like, oh my god.
Is I could see my demographics on YouTube, and my audience is not like 12 to 17 gamer kids. My audience is 25 to 34. Video game people and anime people. And so the fact that there are multiple people who are 25 to 34 who still are dealing with children, it's like, you got to do something with your life, buddy. You know what I mean? It's like,
I would say YouTube also lies a little bit about that statistic of age.
What do you mean?
So like it's going to give you a good idea, but it won't tell you everyone's age. Because for instance, a kid is not even supposed to be able to make a YouTube account. So it's like
that's true. That's actually true. Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it's gonna give you like, I'm not saying the breakdown's wrong, but there's gonna be more people who are younger than you think there are.
Maybe
Twitter's the grossest with that shit, bro. There's kids left and right, bro, and they're just like it's a shit show there, bro. I cannot believe, bro. I've gotten accounts in my past suspended because of little fucking 14-year-olds rallying together and spamming that fucking like report. It's like kids got so much free time, bro, and they'll just do anything and they don't care. It's like
they're not in school.
Never underestimate a tween with an iPad.
They got nothing else to do right now.
They're sitting at home in quarantine. They got nothing else to do. I'm sure half the time during classes they're on Twitter. I mean, they got their computers open. They can't monitor their screens, I don't think. So they'd probably be on Twitter talking about.
I love taking students' phone. No cap. My favorite thing.
What the fuck you be doing with their phones?
I have plenty of stories about me taking kids' phones.
Okay, go ahead and tell one.
No.
Let's hear
tell us how little Timmy beat your ass for snatching his phone.
Taking random kids'
He did not.
Yeah, all right. He slapped the dog shit out of you.
He did not. Yeah,
he beat the fuck out of you for taking his phone.
He did not.
Yeah,
I remember a teacher.
Shut your 7th foot in 4th grade looking ass up, bro.
Nah, bro. This man took somebody's phone and walked outside to go to his car, and his windshield was shattered.
That's cap.
Huh?
That's cap.
Yeah, all right.
I've seen that happen though, but not me though.
I'm glad it didn't happen to you. I'm glad your windshield's okay. That's good.
Bro, my Game Boy is still in that woman's drawer in my middle school. I know it is. You know the game with the gold Game Boy with the Pikachu
Oh, not
you gotta get that.
It's like the light of the Game Boy is Pikachu's cheek. Yeah, man.
Got it?
Oh no!
She took that from me. She put it in her drawer. I saw it. She just never. I just never
got it back.
It's just the L, bro. That was good.
Kids have multiple. I took a kid's phone. He was like, "All right, cool. I have another one." He took
just
it
go
out
in a backpack. Pull out another.
He took out in front of me, and I took that one too. He was like, "Oh, I probably should have thought about that."
Yeah, probably.
From that kid.
Well, you said you did what?
Huh?
You said you did what?
I took his phone, and then he was like, "I got another one," and he pulled it out. Oh, okay.
I need that phone. I just need Wi-Fi.
That's the decoy phone. It's the trap phone. You took the trap phone. You didn't take his real phone.
No, but I took both. He pulled out. He's like, "I got my other phone," and he pulled out his other phone in front of me before I left, and I just took that shit too.
Oh, so he's dumb
like,
as shit. Okay.
Yeah, he was just dumb as shit. Yeah.
I see.
He didn't even wait for me to walk away. I was like, okay, all right.
I get it.
All right, Jamal.
Oh, was that his name?
You can't be naming this kid,
What the
man.
fuck is good with you?
You don't know that. You don't know that's his real name.
Yeah. Okay. So I just there's just so many questions now. If that's not his real name, what you calling him Jamal? So he black. So you okay? Yeah. Yeah. I know what's going on here.
Not Jamal.
Yeah. Look at him.
Draw.
It should just always be Little Timmy. I think that's such a funny name to resort to.
Little Timmy is the embodiment of so many things. He's the symbolic entity of a lot of different things, man. You could just Little Timmy.
He's the Pokemon fans. He's the Smash fans.
Yeah, but it's like one of those names though. It's like Little Timmy, Karen. Like it's like a.
Don't compare Little Timmy to Karen.
Roundhouse kick. Karen's illegal now, bro. We can't be using Karen.
Nah, man. It's all encompassing, bro. You get everything you need.
Know, you're right.
Off the name.
Little Timmy is so much more broad than Karen.
Yeah, Timmy got that range.
So you say Karen, you see a face every time.
That's what I'm saying.
You say TV face.
Little Timmy is why these games are easy now.
The sunglasses, the cell phone to the face.
Little Timmy is why you can press jump and attack at the same time in Smash Bros. And do a short hop aerial automatically. Little Timmy is why there's hacks in Pokemon, bro. Like this, he's responsible for so many things.
That's crazy.
Little Timmy is why there's no more one-frame links.
He's the one who comments. That's who I'm talking about. That's the one who comments, oh, you're not criticizing enough, and then eventually comments, why are you being so critical? It's the same person. Little Timmy doesn't know what he wants.
Yep.
Little Timmy's motherfucker. That's facts.
He does not know what he wants.
He's got a pretty busy.
He thinks he knows what he wants.
Pretty busy guy.
Yeah.
Does Little Timmy's dad work for Nintendo?
I was going to say, who else is pretty busy? 6ix9ine. He's been pretty busy. You guys want to talk about that?
Why are we talking about 6ix9ine on the Super Smash Bros. podcast?
How would you rat and come home to a big bag?
You're mad.
How would rat and come home to a big bag?
Blah, blah, ha, ha. Jeez.
Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb?
That's the thing about the song. If you talk shit about it, you just say you're mad. He won.
Why are you so excited?
Hey man, you
hear this guy?
He's like, bro, he's the guy, bro.
It was pretty funny that he had the rat face on himself. That was pretty funny.
He's talking shit about the billboards. He's out there, bro. 6ix9ine.
Are we done? I feel like we covered everything. We done?
I guess, man. I got shit to do, actually.
Yeah, me too. I got to finish Sakura Wars.
All right, people. Do the outro thing and stuff.
Well, thanks so much for coming by, everybody. This is a great Japan Time filled with hot takes and opinions. Where can people find us? You can find us at teamjapantime.cool. Oh, thanks, War Champ. Appreciate that. And like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.